is, Mzansi. It is Tuesday. Not just Tuesday, but Health Tuesday.
Oh my goodness. Well, we shine a light on pertinent issues today, as well as keeping you informed on how to stay healthy.
Yeah, health is like the new happy, right?
It
And
is.
I'm absolutely here for that. So let me just check in with you. How are you
Okay.
feeling today? You healthy? You happy?
I am feeling so good, better than yesterday. It was a
Okay.
slow start to the
Yeah.
week, but we're back and better, baby. How about you,
Oh,
Ram?
yeah, I'm feeling the invigoration that was like pumped into the week yesterday, and I'm riding on that wave right now. So let's go through what's happening this morning.
I think
First up,
so.
obviously, we're bringing awareness because today is World Hunger Day. And obviously, we have ramifications when it comes to hungry children and developing a hungry child's appetite, developing the appetite for life as well. So we need to go through this pertinent conversation and see how we can assist this impressive, well, what's going to be an impressive front, as long as we can bring this one to life.
And we definitely will do that. We also going to get into our Tuesday with some relationship dilemmas to sift through. We love Relationship Tuesdays, don't we? And this morning's topic addresses deal breakers versus compromise. So stay tuned, and we want you to share your input as well. It's a conversation. Come on through.
Yeah, it's a healthy conversation, and I think it's going to build us up for an appetite. And that's why we're heading to the kitchen, because finally, in terms of this morning's menu, you can expect the following recipes, right? We've got a fruity baked oats recipe coming through. That's going to be some breakfast ready. And then we've got a recipe coming through in the terms of chicken nacho platters.
Ooh.
And if you love to host a party, if you love to have people around, then I think this platter is going to be perfect. Or maybe you're just hungry, and this one's perfect for just you.
I'm hungry already, and it's only 2 minutes after 6 o'clock. Imagine what's coming our way. I know it's also Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes, I love this part of the morning. And the man at the helm who's needing your assistance in Zanzi is standing by right now. Is it George Clooney? Who's that?
be.
Hasselhoff? I can't tell. Who that?
Thanks, man. Keep going, keep going. You can do it. Carissa, you say you're hungry. How about we get you a little snack over here? No, I am going to need your help seriously this morning. Good morning from my side. My name is Graham Richards. And yes, it is a Tuesday, which means I need a little bit of help choosing my outfit this morning. And we have got two beautiful options here, both quite impactful, both very different. So let's start on my left here. We're going to level up just a little bit. Beautiful black smart pants, almost a chino, but with a beautiful gloss there that I think elevates it. We've got the beautiful ribbed crew neck, gorgeous, and a jacket that I think is a statement piece. If you're going to invest in something for winter, this is a style that works. And then, of course, the black Chelsea boot, beautiful, nice roll-up. I really like this look. Let's take it to another level and layer up even further. We've got a beautiful blue bomber, the deep blue chinos, white sneakers, again, a beautiful crew neck that we have now layered up with a turtleneck underneath. Two beautiful looks. I think both ready to embrace the cold outside. I love them both. The choice is yours. You can let us know on the socials, which look are you going for, option 1 or option 2? What's your vibe this morning? I know we can hear the rain falling on the studio roof as we speak. Either way, I'll be okay. They're warm, they're stylish, absolutely beautifully curated by our style team. I just need your help. And of course, these looks are available in store, online, or via the Woolies app. You can get inspired for these cold winter days. I've got two great choices. You can help me decide this morning.
Oh yes, Mzansi, come through and make us look good. That's the request we have for you this morning. But we have another request, and that's why we're chatting to you every single morning, making sure that we got this two-way communication, making sure that you are knowing we are live right now and diving into pertinent conversations. And let's do that right now. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but Cape Town is raining and pouring. It's very, very wet. And this is obviously the perfect time to ask you this question. With the winter ahead of us and the cold months ahead of us, what's your go-to meal? Especially when it comes to warm meals that are essential for this time of the year. What is your go-to crazy warm-up cuisine for this time of the year? I think for me, I start off with something warm like a lovely tea. You've got to have some tea with some ginger, some honey in there. Just get the body starting to wake up. And then after that, I can't say no to soups. I'm a soup lover, just dipping some warm bread in that, having a taste of that good stuff. Like you saw yesterday on the show, if you missed out, we have so many options when it comes to that too, Mzansi. So, I don't know, I want to hear from you though. What crazy ideas, pictures, send us voice notes, everything you have when it comes to inspiring us to get our warm winter meals on, especially for this time of the year though. But before we get into all that conversation, official duties must commence. And Chris is standing by with the latest when it comes to news headlines.
With just 5 minutes after 6 o'clock, let's have a look at news making headlines. While severe storms and what likely appeared to be a tornado have caused extensive damage in and around Durban, the worst part being at Tongaat on the north coast, in parts of the city centre, and at Ungababa. At Field Hills, Gillette, the assegai trees were toppled and streets blocked. Buildings' roofs were also blown off. Heavy rain caused flooding in homes, schools and businesses in various parts of the city. The storm and resulting mudslides also caused damage to water infrastructure, leaving several communities without power and tap water. Meanwhile, disaster management teams are deployed across the Eastern Cape to assist residents affected by this weekend's flooding. The worst flooding occurred in the Nelson Mandela Bay and Buffalo City metros. The death toll stands at 8 and 10 people have died in collisions attributed to wet roads. Now, Gift of the Givers is providing food and blankets to many families. Heavier snowfall is expected in the Eastern Cape today, and City Power has appealed to Johannesburg residents to reduce electricity usage due to the current cold weather conditions. Taking a look at some international news, millions of Nigerians are without electricity after the national grid was shut down during a general strike over the cost of living that's been rising recently. The country was plunged into darkness early yesterday morning when union members prevented operators at power control rooms from working and shut down electricity substations. Many flights were also cancelled at the country's busiest airport in Lagos and Abuja. Unions are demanding a huge increase in the minimum wage, saying workers cannot survive on the current rate of 30,000 naira, that's 3,740 rand a month. Some 50 people have died in India in the past 3 days as a brutal heat continues to grip parts of the country. Now, 33 people have died in the northern state at Uttar Pradesh over the weekend due to this intense heat. These included people involved in general election, including polling officials and security guards. In Odisha state, some 20 people died due to a heat stroke, officials said. India holds its general elections in the summer months of April and May every 5 years. And finally, in some good news, South Africa has been voted the friendliest nation in the world. This is according to a new study by Remitly, a leader in digital financial services. Remitly surveyed some 3,000 participants globally using the Big Five personality test focused on agreeableness. Participants answered questions to gauge their concern for others and willingness to help. South Africa scored the highest with 34.63 out of 40. Remitly highlighted South Africa's affordability cost of living, diverse wildlife, warm climate, as well as the welcoming residents. South Africans are known for their politeness, sociability, and good humor, making visitors feel at ease. The country's 11 official languages also facilitate communication and friendship. Now, Greece came in second and first in Europe, Australia in Oceania, and Mexico in North America. I'm sure you can agree to that. The smiles on our faces say everything this morning. For now, though, it's time to check in with G-Man, who's got your sports.
Thank you so much, Chris. As the rains bless us from above, the Proteas bless us from afar. They commenced their T20 World Cup, their 2024 journey very successfully with a 6-wicket victory over a hapless Sri Lanka. That was at New York's Nassau County International Cricket Stadium. So the Proteas chasing a target of just 78 runs, and they hit it in the 17th over. Quinton de Kock top scoring with 20 of 27. Heinrich Klaassen, the master blaster, remained unbeaten on 19 not out. And then earlier, our boys bowled Sri Lanka out for just 77 runs, as I said, with Anrich Nokia taking 4 for 7 and Keshav Maharaj 2 for 22. Kagiso Rabada looking back to his best, 2 for 21 there as well. So next for the Proteas will be their World Cup foes, the Netherlands, a bit of a hoodoo side for us, and that's this Saturday, the 8th of June. Now let's turn to football, and Real Madrid have announced officially the signing of Kylian Mbappe. That's on a free transfer after the French captain left Paris Saint-Germain. So the 25-year-old, PSG's record goal scorer, in fact, with 256 goals in his 308 appearances, incredible, signed a 5-year contract at the Bernabeu worth some 15 million euros, or around 12.8 million pounds annually after tax. Not bad. The 2018 World Cup winner joins 2 days after Carlo Ancelotti's side secured their incredible 15th Champions League title, completing a double with their La Liga championship as well. Mbappe celebrated by posting childhood photos of himself in a Real Madrid kit on social media. I wonder if there are any Mbappe Real Madrid shirts left in the world right now. While we've got that European connection, let's get the tail of the tape. And UEFA chiefs have named Vinicius Jr. officially as the Champions League player of the season. That was after he led Real Madrid to European glory, as we've just said. While his teammate, Jude Bellingham, I'm sure was a shoo-in for that, he received the Young Player Award. The Brazilian forward, he scored 6 goals, provided 5 assists in Real's triumphant campaign, and also at critical moments in that build-up to the run-in, and included that second goal, of course, in the 2-0 win against Borussia Dortmund in the final at Wembley Stadium this past Saturday. This victory crowning Real Madrid as the European champions. I think let's call them the kings of Europe. And speaking of kings, let's turn to tennis, and he showed his mettle yesterday. An injured Novak Djokovic sealed a 15th consecutive French Open quarterfinal with a thrilling comeback victory over Argentinian Francisco Carantolo in the 4th round. So a limping Djokovic seemed headed for a shock defeat, being 2-1 down in sets and 4-2 behind in that 4th. However, he battled back to win 6-1, 5-7, 3-6, 7-5, 6-3 after 4 hours and 39 minutes. I called it a 5-hour, almost there, and in front of an incredible crowd at the court, Philippe Chatrier. And of course, Djokovic narrowly avoiding his earliest exit, in fact, from the tournament since 2009, setting him now a rematch of last year's final against Casper Ruud, who beat Taylor Fritz in 4 sets to get his spot there. And that's where we leave our sport now. We'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. Well, as the weather goes crazy all around us, let's get the latest on the weather front from Raul.
Crazy indeed, G-Man. Yes, that's right. And as you can hear, just a reminder, the studio is getting bombarded with a lot of rain right now. And on top of that, here's the reason why. Because the SA Weather Service has issued multiple severe warnings for today. Now, on top of this, we have an orange level 6 warning for disruptive rain, causing flooding and danger to life. Now, this is expected along the coast of the Eastern Cape and adjacent interior. Carrying on with the warnings right now, and another yellow level 4 warning has been issued for severe thunderstorms, hail and localized flooding expected over the central Karoo, Garden Route, Cape Winelands, Overberg and the eastern parts of the West Coast District in the evening. And on top of this, a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms, strong winds and hail expected over the eastern Free State, Gauteng, northwestern KwaZulu-Natal and the Mpumalanga Highveld. Now, moreover, yellow and orange level warnings are also out for disruptive rain and snow in various parts of the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State, the Northern Cape, and the coastal areas from Cape Point to Richards Bay. Well, definitely paying attention to these warnings right now and hoping that you can stay safe in this weather. But here's another reminder to turn things over to a positive note. And we're asking you to send in those sunrise views. The number's 0634088863. I can't wait to do it. We'll be sharing it in the next hour. But for now, though, you can take your first look at the temperatures that you can expect on your side of town.
$18 degrees. All right. Okay, it is cold out there. No, seriously, crazy weather out there. Please just stay safe. Just give yourself a little bit more planning time, driving time if you are out on the roads. We saw so many lives lost yesterday because of the weather. Please, please be careful. And we want to keep you safe and we want to keep you indoors. In fact, vitally important discussion that we're going to kick off this morning. Building up to World Hunger Day, we look at food insecurity at that critical gateway of young children in that early childhood development phase. If they don't get the nutrients in, they are doomed. And I know I'm being quite severe with this, but this is one of the biggest problems facing our country, and we're going to address it now.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely. We're also going to get into, speaking about this cold weather, a couple of remedies for flus and cold. I don't know if it's got you yet, but many of my friends are man down
Don't break
right now.
me. The mental
Don't get
game
in my
is strong.
head.
The mental
Don't get
game
in
is
my head.
strong.
We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. And we'll see you straight after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's with mixed feelings that we broach this conversation because there are going to be some heavy-hitting stats here that are going to get us all thinking very deeply about the role that we need to play right now in our country. In fact, as global citizens, in a world where over 282 million people, including children, I would imagine a large segment of that, struggle to access adequate nutrition. The urgency of addressing food insecurity cannot be overstated. The ramifications of food insecurity extend far beyond, obviously, the immediate hunger pangs impacting children's physical health, their cognitive development and emotional well-being. It's one issue. And we are joined this morning by health experts, Dr. Chanel Martinison and dietitian Carrie Seedy, to help us understand this profound impact of food insecurity on children's health and well-being, and also the power of just taking one step forward in the right way, what that can actually do, because we've reached that critical gateway. So thank you so much for both of you for being here. I'm trying to make this light, but it's a pretty heavy thing.
Quite heavy.
Because young children are literally starving to death in our own country. You would understand the nutritional implications at that critical phase. But maybe, Doc, I can start with you, seeing as you're new to the couch of the space. We talk about it, food insecurities, great label. These are starving kids.
Yeah.
What does that do to their well-being at that critical young stage of their life, that early childhood development?
Okay, so In our bodies are controlled by two hunger hormones, if I
Okay.
could call it that. So leptin and ghrelin. Ghrelin is something that is secreted by the stomach, and you know, if it is secreted, it is usually a signal to the brain saying we need food, you know, get food. And then if there's no food that comes in, there's no glucose that will go up, and ghrelin will actually just stay up. So because the glucose stays down, and obviously that then has an implication on no glucose in the body. So immediate effects of hunger for a child. If they're sitting in a classroom, their glucose is low, and they actually just cannot focus because their brain's telling them they're hungry, they're hungry,
Well,
they're
we've all
hungry.
been there.
We've all
You
been,
know
yeah.
what that feels like.
Yeah,
that
but
kind of thing.
imagine having that constantly. You know, it's a chronic state that their bodies are in, and it's not getting a response. So they're just never getting that increase in glucose, and then obviously that leads to the lethargy and the fatigue that carries on after that.
And that's when the knock-on effects start to kick in a number of ways, and we'll speak about the long-term effects. This manifests in very different ways, and it can be underweight, it can be overweight.
Yeah.
What is going on in that physical process and how it manifests?
Yeah, so we see the double burden of both over and under nutrition with food insecurity.
Because
So-
the food that's going in is often
Yes.
the least nutritious and the
100%,
highest,
yeah.
worst calorie load.
So
yeah.
what we find is people that are food insecure, their diets are typically high in refined carbohydrates and sugars, high in fat. Also, we see in kids, they call it sort of the insurance hypothesis. So they don't know when they're going to eat again. So when they do have access to food, they
gorge.
just like pile it in. So they actually found that kids in sort of food insecure areas are actually 5 times more likely to be obese than children that are in food secure homes. But in terms of that over and under nutrition, obviously you get different levels of food insecurity. So you get the moderate one where people still have access to food. And then you get the severe cases where there's no food quality or quantities. And that's when we see the underweight kids.
And literally, I mean, from the work I've done on the ground in spaces like this, and we've got some amazing organizations literally keeping people alive every day, where up to 20 children were dying of malnutrition or basically starvation. This was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And these are kids that are a few kilometers away from us. When you layer this in through a few generations, the long-term health knock-on effect of this kind of lack of nutrition, what does that look like?
Yeah, I would just like to take it a step back before we get to the long-term effects. I would like us to just think about the first 1,000 days of a child's life.
For sure, the
Because
most important.
that's when it actually starts. And many people think that 1,000 days of life starts at birth. It actually starts at conception. So it actually goes all the way back
With
to
the
the
mama.
maternal state, you know, their nutrition and their well-being. So it actually starts way before we actually see the malnutrition at the end. So the first 1,000 days that is when their long-term health actually gets, you know, set for life. And it's actually 1,000 days is not long. It's from conception to 2 years old, so 24 months
Speak
of a
to
child.
any parent, they will tell you how quick that will go. Yeah.
And it flies. So, I mean, if you're not feeding the mother with nutritious food and then the baby, it's actually, the baby's already at, you know, at the back end of it,
deficit.
at a deficit. And then when they actually are born, they're born into this place where there's not, you know, like the food, the insecurity is just not, that's there. So then obviously we see the effects then in the hospitals and the clinics with the severe acute malnutrition, which is obviously the worst of it, the moderate acute malnutrition, and then just chronic illness and then persistent illness that children just don't have the reserves to fight any illness that comes their way.
And this is occupying 100% of the brain while we are expecting young children to focus on
focus.
other things that are going on around them. We love to label things here, and we'll use a lot of medical terms, and we'll use terms like food insecurity. The bottom line is we are talking about little children that are probably living within a 10-kilometer radius of where you are right now. We're going to start connecting the nutritional dots, because I have a feeling the roadmap is there. We can do this if we just get the right people working together. So thank you so much to both of you for being here. We're not going to let them go anywhere. If you've got any comments or questions or anything you'd like to weigh in on the conversation, please join us on the socials.
Wow, absolutely grateful for that conversation. It's not going to stop there. We do have a part 2 coming at you, but I think this is absolutely perfect for Tuesday, keeping that theme going, and Health Tuesday's box is being ticked massively right now.
Every single time. Well, it is Tuesday, as Raul said, and if you've just woken up, welcome to it. And it's time for Pharmacy of the Week, where we salute remarkable individuals leading the charge in healthcare. Now, it's a tribute to these fearless champions, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Yeah, now let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week. We're talking about Kenton Pharmacy.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Kenton Pharmacy has been in Kenton-on-Sea for about 44 years already, a real independent community pharmacy. Most of our staff is basically still the same when we brought over, that's here now. For us, it's about a commitment to the community, and we like a family pharmacy.
You know, I enjoy working with people coming in and all our co-workers. We're all ladies here, and I just love all our customers. Even if they afraid to come in due to all this influenza going around and stuff, but we're all here and we know how to work with them and make them feel rest assured they will be fine.
I love it to give the community some assurance that we are here for their health, and especially for people that can't always afford to go to the doctor, and that we're the first line treatment for them before we can show them or direct them to the next level of the medical ladder. Brave means to me to be afraid but still come in and do the job. Especially in COVID-19, you were very afraid, and we were brave to come out and serve our community. Even though they were afraid at home, we came out here and helped them.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Carenza Parisi, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Oh man, that was incredible. Well, we thank all pharmacists making a difference in their communities. We see you, and of course, we appreciate you.
We really do, and I hope you appreciate us, Mzansi, because we're giving you all the good stuff this Tuesday, right? It's Health Tuesday. We're going to carry on with some great conversations. You heard about hunger in children and the effects of this, so we're going to carry on that conversation, hopefully educate you to eradicate this issue right now.
Absolutely, and speaking about eradication, if you want to get rid of any sort of flus that are taking over your life, we've got some 3-in-1 remedies coming your way to tackle all of your flu and cold worries. Don't go anywhere. You want to come back after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our conversation with health experts Dr. Chanel Martinison and dietitian Carrie Seedy to help us understand the profound impact of food insecurity on our children's health, their growth and development, obviously building on what's happening in World Hunger Day activities, hopefully across the globe. Let's continue on the dark side of this narrative, Doc, and look at the long term. Let's make it real and practical. If there's no nutrition at that critical in that 1,000 days, what will happen when we talk about iron deficiencies and stunting? What does that look like in the medical world?
So anemia, there are many different forms of it, but there is iron deficiency anemia, vitamin deficiency anemia, and then anemia of chronic disease. So sometimes when a child comes in, we obviously have to check that it's, you know, one of those and rule out whatever, you know, is not there. But then in terms of anemia, obviously, like the word says, iron deficiency anemia. So that means a lack of iron in the diet. So when children eat, they get in macronutrients and micronutrients, and then within the micronutrients, there will be the iron. And that would come in the form of the proteins that they eat and in some of the vegetables that they eat. But if they're not getting it, they're deficient. It is not there. And then when kids come in, a lot of the times when, like I said earlier, with the persistent colds and flus and, you know, the illnesses that they get, their bodies can't fight it because the iron levels are just low. So iron, when we think about the iron, there are red blood cells in our body, and then when the sister pricks your finger and they check the HB, that's the iron that we're checking. So that needs to, we want that like well above. It's different in different age groups, the normal amount, but on average, like, we want it over 10. And a lot of the times, obviously, if it's not in your diet, it will not be in your body. It's not there. So that's in terms of anemia. But then with stunting, if you see a child that is actually stunted before the age of 8, you actually have to wonder, is there another developmental delay there? Because the stunting is just something that you can see outright. But the other things is what you know, you can't really test for it and you can't see it in front of you. So then it must actually lead you to think, to check for the other things, the other things that could be causing the stunting, because that is obviously related to the malnutrition.
This can be very complicated, or it can be very, very simple. Where it gets complicated is when we've got to treat an individual that's now gone down this path, has progressed too far. Where it becomes really simple is we create nutritional gateways for low-income families. You're talking about just a few simple things, just iron. Just get more iron into your diet. So that being said, how do we go about building a nutritional plan for families that are forced to live on or way, way below that economic bracket where they can access their own food?
Yeah, so I think some countries have addressed this in terms of promoting sort of what they call family farming. So promoting like, and also developing sustainable crops and growing vegetables that are in season.
Which is happening all over South Africa as we speak. People have had to do that.
And then also addressing it just at the school level in terms of educating parents, educating children. Some schools even have developed sort of what they call, their own sort of food gardens at the schools, and they actually will provide a meal to children from that food garden. But another thing that has really helped a lot of countries is the fortification of foods like we do in South Africa. So like the fortification of maize meal and flour. We've got iodinated salt, so that's taken away sort of iodine deficiency as well. So those kind of things help, as well as South Africa also has a national school feeding program, which has made quite a big difference in this country.
I don't think people understand the link. When I go into communities, and we are so blessed to be able to step in there at number 99 and then feel like we are a part of this massive solution. But you get to work with those selfless individuals who do this every day, the Ladles of Love, the Rise Against Hunger, these people who are taking fortified food packs. Often the biggest knock-on effect is not the physical, it's the emotional. It's just a child feeling like for 5 minutes of their life that someone cares enough about them to do something. That speaks to the mental impact on both sides. What sort of other knock-on effects, when we talk about emotional and mental, and I know you're not a psychologist, but you do have to work in the space so much. What knock-on effect can it have, dark and light, when it comes to this?
I'm not sure that there are any light, but I'll just focus on a few of them. So like I mentioned earlier, the first 1,000 days of life, in that time, in that period, a child's brain can create up to 1,000 new neural connections every second. So
Sure.
imagine every second of that child's life, if they are stressed about their next meal, if they are having anxiety about, am I going to eat? If they are seeing the stress in the family, that constant stress that they're
gets layered
having,
down,
it stays there. And like everything is related to hormones, there's dopamine and serotonin in the brain. And if those happy hormones stay low, children are just never going to feel it, and that leads to later on in their lives leaving them to depression and anxiety, because they actually just have never experienced
Or
the
an
happy.
addiction that is right there, which offers just some respite from this traumatic. And I think that's often what
Yeah.
we forget, that this is trauma.
It's trauma.
If I could put you in front of a room full of educators, politicians, policy makers, what would you scream out to them? What do you think
Yeah.
needs to be put out there from a nutritional perspective?
So I think firstly is a lot of research into these kind of things. Like the last National Food Consumption Survey was sort of in 1999, you know.
Sure,
So there
different
have
world.
been
Sure.
sort of smaller based studies looking at it. So identifying the problem is very important. So, you know, now that we've fortified food, what are the vitamin and mineral deficiencies we're seeing in children? So are these still relevant? You know, and from one of the studies, you know, there has been an improvement in some of the areas. So definitely, and policymakers also can affect in terms of food pricing, subsidized food. You know, ensuring there's land to do sort of family farming on, encouraging and educating in terms of food gardens and that kind of things at schools. You know, educators are quite important in terms of they're the front line with the children and the parents. So making sure schools have nutrition programs to educate about healthy eating, very important.
Yeah, it's not just about providing the food, it's about empowering with the right kind of knowledge. Thank you so much. I think we could probably sit here for the entire day and work from the higher structure down. The bottom line here is we need to do something. And the crazy thing is, we saw this during COVID, that schools were staying open to grow food as parents were there tending the gardens, going to the gogos, running the ECDs. We've been doing this. We just need to formalize it, create the structures around it so that we can reach every child. And organizations like Food Forward South Africa, Ladles of Love, who I mentioned, just two incredible organizations playing a vital role in fighting hunger, and you can help them win that fight. It is doable, but it needs all of us.
All of us are here to hopefully make this a reality right now, Mzansi, and I love this conversation. Again, I want to thank you so much for bringing the pertinence to your Feel Good Breakfast show right now on your Health Tuesday. And speaking of Health Tuesday, we've got a lot to get through, and looking after your health right now, it looks like we've got lots of colors in the kitchen.
I am telling you, Raul, we're in for such a good time. I'm even knocking things over in anticipation of Chef Rue, who's going to be joining me in the kitchen to do a fruity baked oat. I don't know if you've ever had oats in that way, but it's going to be absolutely delicious.
It's a guarantee, that's for sure. And also something we've got a guarantee for you is hopefully helping you with your health. So we've got a 3-in-1 solution that can help you with colds and flu. As you've heard, it's getting cold right now, Mzansi, so we got you covered. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin. Relieve itchy skin in just 60 seconds with Aveeno's Skin Relief Moisturizing Lotion. Aveeno.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, Mzansi, and let's keep this conversation warming you up because it's cold and flu season, which seems to strike at the most inopportune times, right? But it's always good to know that there is help at hand for the whole family, and that's from Adcock Ingram's OTC over-the-counter product range. And to tell us more, we are joined by Chris Brassel in the building. Chris, it's always good having you. It means that we get to be educated, and I love running scenarios with you because you seem to just have all the answers.
I wish.
Now, this is a scenario that I really want to put to you, and I think a lot of South Africans find themselves in this position. It's a busy day, we've got a lot of big tasks ahead, but you can feel some of those cold and flu symptoms coming through. What do? We can't afford to get sick. Are there options?
You run to your pharmacy, your local pharmacy, consult with your pharmacist,
Okay.
explain your symptoms, and they will be able to give you the best treatment that can help you with exactly what you're going through right there and then.
I love that. And I love the fact that pharmacists have this value and we really need to turn to them more often. Now, a product like a Carenza Paracy, it's something that I see a lot of people using, especially during this season. Why is this so important?
I think this is a great product exactly for the scenario you described, where you haven't got time to take off, you've just got to get on with what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to take something that is going to make you feel better and help you get through the day. So your Carenza Paracy is an effervescent formulation. We call it a 3-in-1. So you can purchase it over the OTC counter, as you mentioned. You don't need a script for it, and you take it and you start getting relief from your symptoms.
I love that. So options for those crazy days when you need to just pull up and somehow do the most. That's great because I think a lot of people are going to use this. What about the ingredients in this product when it comes to the Carenza Paracy?
As I mentioned, it's a 3-in-1 ingredient. So it has ingredients that will take care of pain and fever, which is
Nice.
something we experience
Yeah.
with the common cold. It also has something to relieve congestion. So again, your chest feels tight or your nose feels blocked and everything just all bunged up, if
Yeah.
we can put it like that.
Yeah.
And as I say, you've got body aches and pains. So this is a 3-in-1, one effervescent tablet, boom.
And that makes sense because these are the issues that really truly stop us from being able to perform, from being able to show up. So dealing with those symptoms already, I can see that that's going to make a world of difference. I think for everybody that has already converted or that needs to convert to this, I'm sure they're going to want to. How exactly do we administer this? How would we take this?
So it's very easy. You dissolve one effervescent tablet in a glass of cold water, let the tablet dissolve, and then you drink it after that. You can take it 3 to 4 times per day, and it is suitable for adults and children over the age of 12 years old. I just would like to mention, if your health is compromised, your health status is compromised, or your symptoms get worse or you don't improve, you do need to see a doctor. But for the start, the onset of it, and you feel, you know, you've been around people who've got this common cold and you're starting to feel those similar symptoms they've described, talk to a pharmacist. He'll always guide you in the right direction.
I love that. So I think with that note, Mzansi doesn't have to suffer on some of those big days. You've got options. And I want to thank you again, Chris, for coming through and educating us and allowing us to have these options. And like I said earlier, you always do have the answers, clearly.
I try.
Thank you so much. Now, Mzansi gets better because you can trust Carenza Paracy to fight nasty cold and flu symptoms, but you also stand a chance to win 4,000 Rand in cash with Carenza Paracy. Now, all you got to do is tell us about a time when cold and flu symptoms stopped you from achieving your best. Now, don't forget to use the hashtag #AdcockOTCWinter in your answer, and the competition closes Monday, the 10th of June. Now, don't forget T's and C's do apply, and you can find it at expressoshow.com.
Now, we've been talking about food all morning, and if you are a breakfast lover, especially if you love oats for breakfast, we're going to look to shake things up just a little bit. It isn't your boring old recipe, okay? We're going to give you our fruity baked oats, and it's going to be oh so delicious. It's going to be made from the same ingredients you typically use for overnight oats, but you can make them as healthy as you want. I'm already spotting some strawberries here and nuts, but Chef Roo is definitely going to guide me on how to do this and introduce us to a whole new new world of oats. Chef Roo, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Goodness. So oats, it's usually for me on the pot, right? Stir it up, a little bit of salt, maybe some bananas, and that's as far as I go. This is something different.
This is different, and I like that you said it's not your everyday oats recipe. It's like something different, something fresh, but also really healthy.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm seeing we've got banana, we've got the dry oats already, and of course we've got some berries to add some tartness and color. What are we doing? How do we start
Okay,
this?
so we're gonna start with our banana actually. We're just gonna mash that up.
Delicious. And what's that going to do? It's kind of binding it
It's
together.
a binding agent because
Yeah.
there's no eggs. So it's similar, this recipe is similar to like your overnight oats, except, I mean, we're adding a few other things that will help. So we're just going to quickly get that together.
And we're doing a baked thing right now, right? We're throwing it in the oven. I'm actually in charge of all the toppings, and it looks so good because we've got cream cheese. And anytime you add cream cheese into something, I think cheesecake. Like, that's immediately where my mind goes.
But cream cheese is so versatile. I mean, we're going to use this as a topping. So, I mean, we'll add some nice things to it so that it tastes really good as well.
Amazing.
Okay, so
mashed up the banana.
Mashed up the banana. We're going to add the oats right there.
Delicious. I see we've got milk in the mix too.
Yes, we've got some berries as well.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to use any kinds of fruit that you like. We're using berries today. Like you said, it brings a nice sweetness and a tartness. We're adding some milk as well.
One thing about oats, though, is that I feel this word is a bit weird, but the mouthfeel, right?
Yeah.
Can get a bit the same. It's like the mushy banana, the mushy oats. Can I get some crunch in the mix? Is that possible to add a little something to this?
So that's exactly why we're doing this, because you want to get some texture in there. You can also add some seeds as well if you want to.
Great.
Yes, really good idea to add some seeds. So we're just gonna add that, mix that together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I've just added the fruits of the forest.
This is the citrus one in particular.
Yes,
I love that. We've been adding citrus in, and you know we need that because it is winter time. Any vitamin C that we can get is better because we want to increase the nutritional value, right? And the nutritional intake. And you can even grate in some carrots. I think it would make it so delicious.
So carrots, some baby marrows also. If you're
baby marrow.
Baby marrows. If you're that adventurous, I think you should try the baby marrow recipe.
Chef Roo, I don't know if I want to push it that far. The carrots was already a push. Now baby marrow. You don't taste it in the recipe.
No, not really.
Okay.
So baby marrows will absorb a lot of the flavors already
around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've just added some honey now, and I'm adding some baking powder.
Okay.
So that's something you wouldn't put in overnight oats.
And the baking powder helps with?
It's just going to also help with making it rise a little bit more, but also just to get it to bind a little bit better.
Right, because like we said, this is a baked recipe, and you can use any of your favorite clover fruits of the forest, full cream yogurt flavors, and also enjoy the thicker and creamier taste. And it's also got some real fruit pieces in it, which I absolutely love, because like we said, the more nutritional value, the absolute better. So I am in charge of this as your sous chef. Your sous chef.
Sous chef.
I just renamed it. It's your sous chef now. Your sous chef. What am I doing? I'm seeing nuts, cream cheese you mentioned, and also strawberries.
Yes.
Where do I start?
What you're going to do is actually get half a cup of that.
Ooh, we're going back into the clover.
Yes,
Lovely.
back into the clover. And then, yes, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
I spilled a bit on the outside.
That's how we cook, honey. That's
board
how
was hungry.
That's how we move.
Okay, cool.
And
What
then
else?
you're going to add some cream cheese in there.
Cream cheese goes in. And this is just plain cream cheese,
That
right?
is just plain cream cheese.
Delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
And some nuts. We've got a variety of nuts. You can
Is
also
it the whole
add
batch or just like a little
just
touch?
a little bit.
Little sprinkle.
Just a little sprinkle.
Okay.
So you can add nuts in there, or you can add nuts like eventually on the top when everything is done and cooked.
Right. I'm seeing a great variety here. We've got hazelnuts, cashews, also some almonds. I love me some almonds, right? I might have been a bit heavy-handed, but
That's fine. I just wanted to show you what it looks like before we put it in the oven. So we've just put it into our baking tray, and then we're just going to pop it in the oven real quick.
Yum. And how long does it go in the oven for?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
30
okay.
minutes, yeah.
So this is not the on-the-go breakfast.
No, it's not
you
on
have
the
some
go.
time. It's
You
a
have
Saturday morning.
Yes. So you're going to take it nice and slow.
Yeah.
Make sure it's really cooked. It gets nice and crispy, nice and
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And you're definitely going to enjoy that.
Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Okay, so we've got cream cheese, the yogurt, as well as the nuts. Do the strawberries go in?
I would leave the strawberries just for garnish.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So you
So
can
we're
just
mixing this.
Mix that up. Yes.
Got you. I mean, the cream cheese is going to give me a hard time, but we're going to get in there.
We'll get in there. It looks good already.
Does it? Thank
I
you.
think so, yes.
There's one thing about me, I love some encouragement, so keep it coming. Keep it coming, Chef Rue.
You're doing so well.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, cool. So we're mixing it up. The consistency has to be kind of smooth, no?
Yes, it has to be very smooth.
Let me just break it up a little bit.
And what you want to do is actually wait until it's cooled. So when
Okay.
it comes out of the oven, it's going to cool down. Then you add your topping so that
Okay.
it's not going to just slide off because it's too hot.
Well, listen, I've never had oats like this before. I'm really excited to have a slice of it because that's nice. You can slice it up and kind of have it as a snack, have it as a breakfast, share it with friends.
Yes.
Come on.
And
I'm
you
here
can
for
keep it, which is really great because you don't have to make a new batch of oats every single morning. You can actually use it as a meal prep thing and then enjoy it.
Meal prep is great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know I went pretty quickly on your part, but if you want to get the full recipe, make sure you head to expressoshow.com for all of these details. You got your nutrition, but you also have your taste with a new version of our fruity baked oats. Delicious. Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome.
Enjoy a thicker and creamier full cream yogurt with real fruit pieces. A fruitful day awaits with Clover Fruits of the Forest.
Yeah, Mzansi, look who we've got here. We've got a mic, but we've also got James in the building. Yeah. This man is coming through. He's ready to serve us some Mzansi. We're going to dive into a conversation and ahead of the tour to the US of A. The man's making it international. I'm so proud about this one. We're going to dive into a conversation and obviously supporting our mans nonetheless. And then also diving into a conversation ahead of the French Open. Mzansi, a lot to look forward to in a Feel Good Breakfast show, so don't go anywhere. It's going to get hot.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Let's lighten the mood just a little bit right now and take a slice into the quarterfinals of the French Open. Yep, it's been hot this year as the tournament reaches the final 8 in both the men's and the women's divisions. Novak Djokovic chasing his 25th Grand Slam title. I think even the antis want him to achieve that goal. And while Iga Swiatek aims for her 4th French Open win and a historic 3rd consecutive women's title in Paris since Justine Henin in 2007. And he had a chat to us about the upcoming quarterfinal clashes as tennis coach and paddle star Ricky Solomon. No, I'm joking. Not only are you going to come for me, the whole paddle community is going to come for me now, man. There is a place for everybody in this ecosystem, but we do love it when tennis takes center stage like this, because there are so many narratives playing out in the world of tennis right now.
Yeah.
I'm not choking up, I promise you, man. I do love Rafa, man, so I am heartbroken at the way that this played out for him. But let's start with the women's draw, which is really interesting at the moment. Coco Gauff.
Yeah.
Ons je weer.
Yeah. Man, ever sorry that the two of them have to play each other because I love both
of them.
I wish they met later in the draw. But it's going to be a very, very hard game to call. If people love tennis, they should watch this match.
Yeah.
Coco Gauff, rising star. Ons je weer, once upon a time, like top 2.
Their hair out.
Yes.
There isn't the expectation. There isn't the
Correct.
pressure on her to win. Would that work in her favor? When a player has gone through a mental struggle like that, what's the best way? To have the belief or to just go in with no expectation?
Yeah, I would say that the situation she's in now is better than the previous situation. Mentally, she could possibly be feeling like, okay, no one is expecting me to win, so if I lose, it's not the end of the world. She might have that feeling. But these top guys, they want to win at all costs. They're
competitive, man.
very competitive.
They're competitive, yeah.
It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. That level of the game, I wish I had the experience so I could actually share it. I've been at the top level locally, but unfortunately not in.
Oh, you're too humble, buddy. You're too humble. I think you get it, man. When you look at a player like Iga, who is on, I mean, there were stats going around yesterday about how many sets she's won on the bounce and how many, I mean, she is an unstoppable force, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Do you see anyone, Marketa Vondrousova, being...
I like how you say the surname.
One has to try. That's the only thing about tennis is it just gives broadcasters anxiety because, you know, the names are coming back.
Yeah.
She seems like she is that girl, and for like the next 5-10 years, she's going to be at the top of the pile.
So Swiatek is by far the most skilled player we have out there right now.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Points. And then in terms of what she's facing now, she's definitely going to lose more than 10 points, but she's definitely, her game is still too big for what's about to come.
Yeah, I can't
she's
see
playing
anyone
a
else
lefty.
in the field, yeah.
She is playing a lefty in the next round, which could be a little tricky, but she hasn't lost a set to Vondrousova. She hasn't lost a set yet.
Listening to her talk yesterday, she was saying like she wants to see how far she can push this, and now she's in new territory for herself.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Speaking of new territory, it's been a while since Novak Djokovic has been in that space. Bit of an injury. I know people are calling him out.
Yeah, I know.
For fake injury. I don't think there's diving in tennis. Is this his year? Is he going to get his 25th?
Man, he's at the point in his career now where he's no longer as fast as he used to be, as strong as he used to be, unfortunately. I think he's 37 now, 38 now. The guys he's playing against are
21.
Exactly. And these guys have been watching him, Rafa, Federer. The guys he's playing now have been growing up watching him.
Yeah, well,
play.
you take someone like Carlos Alcaraz, who's got a bit of all of their styles of play.
Yes. So he may need to take on Alcaraz. He may need to take on in the final. I would say I think he should be facing Sinner or Alcaraz in the final. And to me, to get to the final is still going to be tough. He's playing Casper Ruud next, and Ruud beat him on clay in the last time they met. I'd be very surprised if he can win his 25th. But I hope he watches us have this conversation and this inspires him.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's like, I want to prove you guys wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say it straight out. He is a GOAT. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he has still got the fire, and you can see it burning. When you get pushed to nearly 5 sets in an encounter like that, that's just the kind of test of metal that I think he lives for. But we love you, man. I think the paddle courts are opening as we speak, so I'm sure you're going to be heading out there. Weather regarding, obviously, a lot of people being kept indoors, so just enjoy taking in all the sports and not getting out there and play, but stay safe out there, man. We absolutely love you. You can let us know how you're feeling about the French Open. We'll delve into some French Open news in our sports after the news.
Thank you so much, Ricky, for bringing the gears and getting us eagerly excited for that one. But before we dive into sport news, let's start off with official duties, and that's natural news headlines. Just about to go on the hour, so let's kick it off. Now, legal counsel for Jabulani Khumalo, the founder of the Mkhonto Wesizwe, or otherwise known as the MK Party, has argued that the letter sent to the Independent Electoral Commission for the change in party leadership was forged. Now, advocate Mfesane Kasipoto says there's sufficient evidence to conclude that a daughter of the former President Jacob Zuma forged the letter. Now, Kasiboto says Duduzulu Zuma Sambudla deliberately didn't copy Khumalo in the email correspondence to the commission. Now, Kasiboto is representing Khumalo in the electoral court in an urgent application to reinstate him as MK party leader. Well, carrying on with national headlines, severe storms and what likely appeared to be a tornado have caused extensive damage in and around Durban. Now, the worst being at Tongaat on the north coast in parts of the city centre and at Umgababa. Now, at Fields Hill, gillets and assegai trees were toppled and streets were blocked. Building roofs were also blown off. And on top of this, the heavy rain caused flooding in homes, schools and businesses in various parts of the city. Now, the storm and resulting mudslides also caused damage to water infrastructure, leaving several communities without power and tap water. Well, we now move over to international headlines, and crowds of flag-waving supporters sang and danced to mariachi music in Mexico City's main square, celebrating the ruling party candidate's victory after a female president had been elected in Mexico for the very first time. Now, I wish to thank millions of Mexican women and men on this historic day who decided to vote for us. And that's a quote coming through from Dr. Claudia Scheinbaum, and it was in her victory speech to the cheering crowds. Now, the former Mexico City mayor, age 61, vowed not to fail them. And Scheinbaum, a climate scientist by training, won close on 60% of the votes. Well, next up, millions of Nigerians are without electricity after the national grid was shut down during a general strike over the rising cost of living. Now, the country was plunged into darkness early yesterday morning when union members prevented operators at power control rooms from working and shut down electricity substations. Now, many flights were also cancelled at the country's busiest airport in Lagos and in Abuja. Now, unions are demanding a huge increase in the minimum wage, saying workers cannot survive on the current rate of 30,000 naira. Now, that's 3,740 rand for South Africans, and that's per month. Now, finally, something from the entertainment world. SA opera singer Nkululeko Innocent Masuku wowed the Britain's Got Talent finals on Sunday with a breathtaking rendition of Puccini's Nessun Dorma. Now, although he didn't win, Masuku's performance brought Judge Bruno Tonioli to tears, and he declared it unstoppable. Now, Alicia Dixon also felt the following quote saying, "In the presence of greatness," and Amanda Holden praised his effortless power. Now, Simon Cowell, famously hard to impress, called it the best version of the aria ever performed on the show. Now, Masuku's humility and talent captivated the audience, earning widespread admiration. And following the show, he expressed his gratitude on Instagram and warmly congratulated the winners, Ghanaian dance duo Abigail and Afronita magician Jack Rhodes, as well as singer Sydney Christmas. Well, that's all I have for you right now. We'll do it all again in an hour, but let's dive into the world of sport. And here's G-Man with the latest.
Buzzing after that one. Thank you so much, Raul. Let's see if we can continue on that trend of the Proteas delivering. They commenced their T20 World Cup 2024 journey very successfully, while Sri Lanka crumbled at New York's Nassau County International Cricket Stadium. So the Proteas chased a target of just 78, just 78 runs in the 17th over. Quite slow for them, actually. Quinton de Kock top scoring with 20 of 27. Heinrich Klaassen getting warmed up with 19, an unbeaten 19. And earlier our boys obviously bowled Sri Lanka out for 77 runs, with Anrich Nokia taking 4 for 7. Keshav Maharaj 2 for 22, and Kagiso Rabada back to his best 2 for 21. So next for the Proteas, a bit of a hoodoo side, our World Cup foe, the Netherlands, and that's this Saturday, the 8th of June. Now, we've been waiting for this one to break officially. Real Madrid have announced the signing of Kylian Mbappe on a free transfer. That was after the French captain left Paris Saint-Germain. The 25-year-old, only 25 still, PSG's record goal scorer with 256 goals in 308 appearances, has now signed a 5-year contract at the Bernabeu worth some 15 million euros, or around 12.8 million pounds annually after tax. The 2018 World Cup winner joins 2 days after the incredible Carlo Ancelotti's side secured secured their 15th Champions League title, completing a double with their La Liga championship as well. Mbappe celebrating by posting childhood photos of himself in a Real Madrid kit on social media. I want to know if they've sold out of Mbappe Real jerseys just yet. Incredible. Well, let's keep the European connection and look back. UEFA chiefs have named Vinicius Jr. as the Champions League player of the season. That was after he led Real Madrid to European glory. While his teammate Jude Bellingham, who was a shoo-in for that award, he received the Young Player Award. The Brazilian forward, he scored 6 goals and provided 5 assists, crucially in Real's triumphant campaign, including the second goal in their 2-0 win over Borussia Dortmund in that final at Wembley this last Saturday. This victory crowned Real Madrid as European champions for a record-extending 15th time. They are the kings of Europe. Now, speaking of kings and goats, an injured Novak Djokovic sealed a 15th consecutive French Open quarterfinal with a thrilling comeback. That was after beating Argentinian Francisco Cerundolo in the 4th round. So a visibly limping Djokovic seemed headed for a shock defeat, being 2-1 down in sets and 4-2 behind in that 4th. However, he battled back to win 6-1, 5-7, 3-6, 7-5 and 6-3 after 4 hours and 39 minutes. What a test. And of course, delighting the court Philippe Chatrier crowd. Now, Djokovic narrowly avoided his earliest exit from the tournament since 2009, setting up a rematch of last year's final against Casper Ruud to beat Taylor Fritz on his way there. So an incredible French Open, and it's down to the wire. But that's where we leave our sport for now. The roads should be waking up with the weather weighing in, probably some warnings to be aware of.
Well, thank you, G-Man, for the sporting updates. The roads are definitely waking up, so let's have a look and start out in the Eastern Cape. Now, there have been reports of snowfall on the N6 Pinhook Pass, so please do approach that area with caution, as the roads, you can imagine, will be slippery. And out in Ebeja in the Eastern Cape, the road has been closed on the N2 South at Deal Party due to the storm. Please use an alternative route if you can. In Phoenix, in Durban, there has been a shooting incident at the Trade Center Robots in Eastbury. Please use another route this morning and do stay vigilant. In Goodwood in Cape Town, there is heavy congestion on the N7 southbound at the N1 inbound ramp. Please allow for more travel time if you're able to as well. And sticking in Cape Town, as we heard this morning, there is heavy rain in parts of the mother city. So please remember to switch on your headlights, take it slow, and maintain a safe following distance. Please do stay safe out there. The roads are very wet and it can get a little dangerous. Let's have a look at your weather. Now, the SA Weather Service has issued multiple severe warnings for today. An orange level 6 warning for disruptive rain causing flooding and danger to life expected along the coast of the Eastern Cape and adjacent interior. A yellow level 4 warning for severe thunderstorms, hail and localized flooding expected over the central Karoo, Garden Route, Cape Winelands, the Overberg and the eastern parts of the West Coast District in the evening. And a level yellow 2 warning for severe thunderstorms, strong winds and hail expected over the eastern Free State, Gauteng, northwestern KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga Highveld. Moreover, yellow and orange level warnings are also out for disruptive rain and snow in various parts of the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, the Northern Cape and the coastal areas from Cape Point to Richards Bay. Now, of course, it's just after 7 and we need to check in on that sunrise views. And we had a gorgeous one coming through from Karen in Bluff Beach out in Durban. Look at that. How stunning. I always love it where the water's involved because find me there. Absolutely beautiful this morning, Karen. Thank you for sharing that. And if you too would like to participate, do go ahead and share your sunrise view with us. Pop us a WhatsApp on 0634088863. Now, for the rest of South Africa, let's have a look at the temperatures you can expect today.
Clearly, Mzansi, as you can see, it is getting chilly. And that's why we asked you to help our G-Man out. The man was frosting in the studio this morning, but we needed you to come through and help him decide on 2 wintry looks to warm my mans up. And we had option 1, which was a navy bomber jacket styled with a burgundy polo neck and a crew neck. And that was with matching chinos. But then we also had option 2, which was a check molten coat styled with a textured knit pullover, black trousers, and black Chelsea boots. But yo, Mzansi, I think we divided on this one. It's been a tough one. Let's see what you first have to say on the comments from the social media fronts. And a lot of those have come through this morning. We've got Teresa Maiko says, good morning, my only favorite beautiful Expresso fam. Good morning, Teresa. She says option 1 will look great on G-Man. And I think I might agree with that one. But let's see what the rest of Mzansi has to say. Pulalela says number 1, which is a navy bomber jacket, knitwear layers, and matching chinos. And I like the hashtag there, hashtag Woolies Father's Day. The man's looking G'd up for Father's Day indeed. More comments have come through. We got Silona, and she says option 1. It's definitely going to suit his cool personality. He does have a cool personality. I agree with you. And then we got Liko Taledi, who says, hi, Expresso family. I think look 1 would be dope on G-Man. Well, it kind of looks like this is a unanimous decision, Mzansi. I thought it was going to be a bit of a tough one. I thought we weren't going to be able to decide, but we have decided. So let's bring this absolute stallion into the building right now and see what you've done with him, Mzansi. Shoo! Get rid of the steam, people.
I'm looking for the stallion. I'm trying to find the stallion. I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. Really, really nice. The
Good
puffer,
fit, yeah.
I haven't owned a puffer in a while, and I think the time is right. Oh, wait, sorry. You missed the best angle there.
Oh, the best angle of that. And that's what it is for me, man. Gee, it's the
great.
fit. The fit is so good. It's bringing out all your best attributes. And you've got a lot, I must say, but it's definitely doing that and some.
My R's.
Yeah, R's. It's one of the R's.
Man.
But I love the color on you as well, man. It really is just working. It's giving that feel of warmth. I feel like you could go anywhere and you'll never feel a chill again.
Well, you mean like outside?
Yes, like outside anywhere.
Just
Up
anywhere
Cape Town,
outside at the
doesn't
moment.
matter. But
No, I love
Mzansi's
it.
done well.
Done. Yeah. And I love the fact that you can push the boat out now. If you're going to layer up and have a little bit of fun, do it, man. Play with different layers, play with different textures. I like the continuity of the deep blue throughout and then broken with the beautiful deep red plum, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely beautiful. Burgundy. Let's call it
Burgundy. Oh, yes, the essence.
No, really good.
The
Well
colour
done,
of a
gang. You
classy
did
lad.
good.
Well done indeed. So this is for you, Mzansi. You can help Dad embrace the cold weather by gifting him the perfect winter look this Father's Day. Now, it doesn't stop there because you can also shop online and get 30% off men's knitwear, jackets, and coats. And remember, this offer is valid until the 9th of June. T's and C's can be found on woolworth.co.za. And just picture this, how cool your dad's going to look after a setup like this. Booyah!
Love it.
Well, Mzansi sure did choose correctly because Graham is looking so good and I love how he's matching all of us this morning. It is that time of the morning, though, where I feel a little peckish. I do need a top up, so I'm going to grab some yogurt, one of which we used a little bit earlier to make this gorgeous treat over here, which was our oats that was transformed into a tart with Chef Roo in the kitchen. I can't wait to taste the citrus flavor, though, as I prepare myself for what is to come. Now, we're going to stay in the kitchen, of course, and have a bit of a look into what a chicken platter, a chicken nacho platter in particular, is going to taste and look like. Not only that, we have Gareth James, who's in studio. So good to have him here. We anticipate that tour that he's going to be doing out in the US of A. And not only that, he's going to give us a bit of a performance. So while I indulge into all of this, don't go anywhere. Come back for some more goodness on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
There are stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, as the rain continues to fall, blessing us, I'm going to choose to think this morning we're going to continue on our health focus being a Tuesday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Now imagine a one-stop shop for every family member's needs, right? And MediRite Plus Pharmacy has opened up in Pudfleys, Somerset West, and they have all that and some more.
And I had to get down there, as I do, because we're just up ridiculously early. So I heard about a shop opening it before everyone else was awake, and we were there. Now I got to rub shoulders with the who's who, some wonderful human beings who I think are going to get a lot out of this one. Take a look. Good morning. Great to be connecting with you this early outside of studio for a change. This time for the grand, and I stress grand, opening of the MediRite Plus Pharmacy in Pudfleys. This is going to be the first Cape Town store to carry a beauty hall and the Little Me shop inside the shop concept, which I cannot wait to find out more about. In fact, you can connect to health, wellness, beauty, even baby, all under one roof. MediRite Plus Pudfleys! Congratulations on a beautiful store opening and an incredible brand. I'd like you to start there, please. Tell me a bit more about MediRite Plus.
MediRite Plus is one of the newly developed and very exciting concept stores that specializes specifically in the beauty section and the cosmetics, and on the other hand, the baby category, as well as health and wellness.
So it's literally everything under one roof.
We truly believe that the pharmacy industry offers endless opportunities, and specifically with the added beauty sections in it. So therefore we're embarking on this journey of opening more exciting stores like this in the future, and we're definitely going to continue.
Nikki, so good to see you. Every time I see you, it's awesome. What makes MediRite Plus your go-to when you're looking for that one-stop shop? Why is this the name that stands out?
Ever since being a little girl, I loved pharmacies. Absolutely love the smell when you walk in. Even this one's got its own special scent. I just love the look and feel of this store. But I love walking around, browsing. You can leave me here for hours, and I can tell you exactly what's where. And this is just incredible. I mean, what they've done here, the fact that you've got the Little Me, it's a shop inside a shop. I'm not at that stage at the moment anymore, which I'm very grateful for. But I mean, there's party packs, this literally is, you can get everything here.
Undoubtedly, I think the most impressive space in the store, it's the baby changing facilities. It's the fact that as a parent, because life doesn't stop while you are shopping, you don't have to stop while you are shopping. I love that. The facilities are great, the vibe is great, and the people are amazing. Congratulations to both of you. Ishmael, talk me through the sync, the good fit between Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, and MediRite Plus.
Okay, so from its inception, MediRite Pharmacy's mission has been to get affordable medicines to the greater community. And I think that syncs so well with Adcock Ingram OTC and what we are trying to do as well, which is to get affordable medicines out to the greater community. MediRite has a huge footprint nationally, and that makes medicine so much more accessible.
Chris, you've walked this journey. When we think of the journey that Adcock Ingram OTC, the sponsors of Brave, have walked with our pharmacists, why is this such a proud moment for you?
Sponsors of Brave was a concept that was designed just before COVID broke. And at that stage, we were looking to see South Africans in everyday life doing the right things. And we look, and I don't think we quite realize exactly how brave people are. It's not big things that you do, but it's just the small little acts that actually happen. And then COVID hit and chaos erupted. And during that time, we actually really got to see our healthcare professionals, how they put themselves on the line. They were there through thick and thin. They were at the front line. They served their community. And we really did realize just how brave they were. So Sponsors of Brave since then has just grown enormously. And it's something we're very, very proud of, because with these pharmacies all over, we acknowledge these healthcare professionals, the service they give to the community. You don't need an appointment, you don't need a medical aid. You come in, you can explain your symptoms and get the right and the best treatment for you.
As we head into the winter months, obviously we lean on our supplements, our vitamins, and definitely our over-the-counter medications. But when it comes to being a professional sportsman or woman, supplementation, vitamins, staying healthy enough to get out there on the field takes on a whole new relevance. And the supplement aisle here is amazing.
I come into a Medialite store, always this is my aisle, this is where I run to, and put a lot of strain on your body, and you need to look after your body because this is the thing that gets you all over the field, you know, and at the moment I'm injured as well, so yeah, I'm here a lot.
Being a mom of 3 girls, they are always with me. They're my priority. My family always comes first, and I think there's so many people that can relate. So when I come to the shop, there's something for everyone. I can leave them, they can run around, they can have a look in different sections. I will be in the section buying the Allergex non-drowsy for the allergies. So yeah, no, it's incredibly important. This is on our doorstep. It is so convenient. You can literally find anything here.
Medirite Plus really is an incredible and a valued addition to Part of Play. There is something here for the entire family, from health and wellness to beauty, right down to the kids and babies. We are all taken care of. And in this incredible journey that Adcock Ingram OTC, the sponsors of Brave, have shared with the bravest of us all, our pharmacies and our communities, this is a very proud moment. Well done.
Man, they put a little Sprite in your step after that, right?
Buddy, well, you know you're getting old, okay, when you get excited about going into a pharmacy, but you don't understand. There's something for everybody there. I absolutely love it, but the thing that gets me is because we get to do a lot of these moments, and it was a big moment, obviously, for the brand, but for the people working there, it was just so amazing to see how excited they were about their new space, and it is a beautiful new space.
It looks like it.
Guys, the smell in there is even curated. When you walk in, you literally, like it's a rainforest, and you just start like coming back down to earth. It is an amazing, safe wealth of information. I think families are going to absolutely love it. Well
Lucky
done,
you,
gang.
man. But lucky you as well, Mzansi, because you have the opportunity to go there yourself and dive into all the wealth of knowledge that all these healthcare workers are standing by to assist you with. So what are you waiting for? If you've got some issues with the cold seasons coming up, then, well, there's a place that's got you covered.
Well, just 2 days into the new week, and you could become a multimillionaire when you play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 8 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. You heard me right. I did not stutter. Play Powerball for an estimated 5 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million rand. But as always, if you want to win, you need to play. It's just the rules of the game. Now, you can go ahead and buy your tickets today in store on the nationallottery.co.za website, or you can head over to the mobile app. You can also buy your tickets through cell phone banking, or you can go ahead and simply dial *120 *7529# for all USSD. Now, if you've missed any of those details, we've got you. We've got our details posted on all of our social media pages. So remember to panda, pusher, play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 8 million rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you could hit it lucky. Yes, you.
Yes, you could indeed become a winner, and we're going to make you feel like a winner right now, especially with all this rain going on in the country. And what happens after the rain? At the end of it all, you sometimes get a rainbow, right? And we brought one into the kitchen for you. You're going to be eating a rainbow. Look at all these colors. We're talking about a nacho platter, and I think it's something that's perfect to have on your own if you're really that hungry, or just get the guests involved, get your friends over and have some fun with it. And speaking of fun, let's do exactly that. Let's have some fun, and let's dive into a conversation with the one and only Gareth James. He's still standing by ahead of his USA tour. He's definitely going to be ticking the box of entertainment. So we've got a lot to look forward to on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Mzansi, we'll see you straight after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, it is time for some great entertainment on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So if you just joined us, you came at the perfect time. Joining us right now is Gareth James. He's been making waves in the music industry with his unique blend of country and pop and rock influences. I love the coming together of those genres. And he is gearing up to tour the USA. But before we get into that, before he leaves us in South Africa, we've got to check out his talent.
The world don't need another soapbox preacher talking about streets of gold. Just someone they can lean on and a steady hand to hold. We don't need bigger churches or with higher steeples. We need deeper love, softer hearts.
Yes!
Love
man,
that.
how you doing? It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
I was blown away by your voice the first time you came here, and I've been a fan ever since, bro. I think that the States are going to be blown away by you when you do get there. But let's just talk about what's happening right now, because singles being launched, happened in Feb. People are loving it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's getting response has been great.
Yeah, and how's that feeling for you? I mean, it's quite an acknowledgement, right?
You know, I actually had the most amazing thing happen to me the other night.
Oh, tell us.
I did a show, and this lady came up to me and she said, please tell me that you're doing Better People tonight, because if you're not, I'm leaving. And the funny thing was that as soon as I'd done with the song, she left.
Oh my
She
God.
really just came for that song.
Wow.
And the people know what they want, clearly, right?
Yeah.
And you're giving it to them.
Whoa, Gareth, what do you think it is about that song that just had a heart?
I think it's the message, because the message is really strong about, you know, that I think people preach too much and do too little, you know. And I think that's really what the story is about, is just to stop preaching and start doing more, you know. It's not difficult to be a good person, you know.
I don't think so at all. It's all in the action, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love that. And I love that we get to experience that a little bit later. I can't wait to sing along with it. But I know that you're going to be leaving SA soil soon, and we're going to be sad to let you go for a couple of months. You headed to the USA. Tell me what goes into prep to actually go on a tour in a completely different space, and how are you anticipating them to receive you?
Well, I've been talking to, because I'm touring with a local artist, an American artist, and he's basically just said to me that, look, bottom line is they love South Africans. This is what he's telling me.
Yes.
So to be honest with you, I have no idea what to expect. I'm excited. I'm like sort of torn because I want to be with my family, but I really need to do this, like, you know. But yeah, no, the excitement's been overwhelming, and I don't know. I hope they're going to like me.
Yeah.
They better.
Is this your first time? This is your first time in the States?
My first time.
Man, I think they're going to love you, because you see how big country is over there, and you've got that feeling, you've got rock, you've got all this, the good stuff that I think is going to just resonate with the people right now. I mean, for someone as a South African, with a country that has so many diverse tastes when it comes to music.
Absolutely.
Look what you've done in a country like this. You've gotten such a big crowd, you've gotten so many people behind you, and there's still just more to come. On top of that, I also believe you're heading over to the Texas Awards.
Yes, I am.
What's the reason behind that?
So that was actually a nomination last year, but last year didn't quite work out the way I'd hoped.
Yeah.
And then when I released Better People, then they contacted me again for a second time, which is not something that happens every day. So I'm like really excited about that.
So all the way from Texas, they hear your music. They're like, we need this man out here on our soil so we can celebrate him.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me is happening?
I think so.
But you understand the gravitas of this, man? Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, it's really cool, you know, because they've got like a small committee of people that like scour social media for independent artists. And that's really just how they found me.
Wow.
Just from social media.
And to them, just so you're aware, you're an international talent to them, right?
Yeah.
You thought about that?
Last year, I won 2 country music awards in South Africa. And you know, to South Africans, it's really not that impressive because, to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a South African country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're in the scene.
Yeah, and they are like, oh, this guy won 2 country music awards in South Africa. You know what I mean? It's, like, it's different. I suppose it's weird.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly,
and I absolutely love that. I did have a quick question about the excitement that you felt. Like, what is your form of celebration when you hear things like, Texas is calling me up, saying, come through today? What do you do?
You know, I express myself best in music.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like exciting things, I don't seem excited, but my heart is exploding. You know what I mean?
I love that, man, because I feel like if you can tap into that, right, you're currently on this positive trajectory. So good news is happening, and you celebrate that good news by singing. So theoretically, the momentum that's already started is just going to be a snowball the more success is going to come, the better your music is. Bro, I love what I'm seeing here. This is looking like a great future for you, man. With that being said, what do you think we can expect for your future? Because it seems like you're just knocking every challenge that comes your way.
Sure.
Well, you know, I think I've been raised by the whole thing about, you know, hard work, you know, pays off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I've got no issue working. So whatever the next challenge is, I'm planning on knocking that thing down too.
Yes.
So.
Why don't we challenge him right now? Hey, why don't we do that right now? You see how he knocks it out the park.
And run as fast as you can to the other side of the studio because we're going to see you perform. Oh my goodness, Gareth,
Guys, thank you so much, man. We'll let you do your thing, but this is what I'm talking about, right? You can feel the passion. You can feel the fact that I think this resonates with a global audience.
Absolutely.
The fact that it comes from South Africa just shows you that we have such incredible, diverse talent, and we get to see that right now.
I can't wait, personally. Let's get into it. A great performance awaits you, so let me not talk anymore. Let the music do the talking.
How's it, guys? It's Gareth James here, and this is 3 words.
What am I to you? Each time you call, what am I to say? I can't run away. Letting go of you is easy to say. The hardest part for me is walking away. It kills me inside to see you with somebody else, when it should have been me. I wanna love you. I wanna love you. Oh, how they tell me I'm crazy for loving you, baby. Why can't I just say these 3 words? Oh, I don't know why. All I've gotta do is find a way to say, 'cause each passing day is slipping away. It kills me inside to see you with somebody else, when it should have been me. I wanna love you. I wanna love you. Oh, how they tell me I'm crazy for loving you, baby. Why can't I just say these 3 words? Oh, I don't know why. I wanna love you. I wanna love you, yeah. Oh, how they tell me I'm crazy for loving you, baby. Why? I wanna love you. I wanna love you. Oh, how they tell me I'm crazy for loving you, baby. Why can't can I just say these three words? Oh, I don't know why.
Wow. Oh, buddy, they are going to eat you up, my friend. Absolutely awesome. Gareth, thank you so much, my brother. Don't worry, we're all a little bit crazy, and hopefully you've learned a lesson from him this morning. Go and say those three words if you got to say it. Get it out of your system. But Gareth ain't going nowhere. He's going to be performing one more time just for you.
I cannot wait. I'm even in tears a little bit right now. But let
So
me
good.
compose myself, because coming up, of course, we're going to talk all about the health when it comes to the earth. Biodiversity and soil health is hell important. So let's get into it.
Yeah, it's important to also dive into the kitchen, fill our bellies up, and we're doing a nacho platter. So look forward to that just after this.
Oh, yum.
Drained? Dehydrated? You have lost more than just fluid. Recover faster. Add Rehydrate, SA's #1 oral electrolyte mixture.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us for what has been a wild, awesome ride so far. Thank you so much. And of course, there is underpinning all of that a real consciousness about what we're talking about today. And this hits every note for me. Woolworths work very closely. We've seen this with a network of farmers and suppliers to produce not only the best quality food, obviously, but also to work in harmony with nature.
Absolutely. And one of my favorites, Clem, went out there on the field and visited one of their local suppliers to learn more about the Farming for the Future initiative and the importance of soil health and biodiversity.
How much do you know about regenerative farming? Well, Woolies have been using these farming methods for years to produce food that is sustainable and will be sustainable for generations to come. They call it farming for the future, and along with their producers and suppliers, they ensure that they not only farm better, but farm with the planet, its people, and its animals in mind. Today, I have one mission: to truly understand what farming for the future is and to see it in practice. Hello, Billy. I see I caught you at work.
Hi, Clem.
Billy, you're an advocate for sustainable farming. But why is farming for the future so important?
The toy group at the moment, we are celebrating our 130th year of farming. For us, it's important to take custodianship of what we do at the moment. We also want future generations to be able to use and do what we do. At the moment, we are replanting some of the first soils that we did plant apple trees on. And yeah, what's nicest to see is that we can really farm on those soils again and get good production and good trees from that again. Then there's also a second part of it, which is the planning that we are doing at the moment. We are considering the way that we are reallocating the natural resources that we have. So whether it's soil, the different soil types, or water, it's important for us to know how are we going to use those in the future, and also keeping in mind that the future might change a little bit.
Colin, the toy has now been with Woolworths for 25 years as a supplier. Can you tell me about that relationship of having them as a supplier? And what actually happens when Woolies does take on a new supplier?
I think what is important is that Woolworths we don't buy off markets, we don't buy off street corners. We've got a dedicated, quite a narrow list of suppliers that supply us directly. And when we take on a new supplier, it's because we obviously need it. We want to build on relationships like with the Toys for 25 years. We want them to invest in our business. We'll invest in their business, and they must do special things for Woolworths. So we keep on asking suppliers, what is the difference? So the toy on apples, they grow specific varieties for us. One is called Envy. It is by far the best eating apple in the world. So if you haven't tasted it, really go out and buy it. So they grow that for us exclusively together with one or two other growers in Ceres. And that's the type of thing we look for. They must know what our thoughts are, we must know what their thoughts are, and we must work in synergy with them. It's also important when we open up a new supplier that their values must be the same as ours. They must have quality standards, and they must be known in the industry for quality product. And then, of course, one of the things is in terms of farming for the future. So they must be prepared to go on the farming for the future journey with us. Otherwise, it's just not negotiable. We won't even take that supplier on board. And I must say, from the beginning, which is now many, many years ago, the toys at that point in time when they came on board scored one of the highest.
So you've mentioned a few of the methods that you've been farming that's led you to this 130-year anniversary. What are some of the other ways that you're practicing farming for the future?
I think one of the new stuff that's really exciting at this stage is when it comes to the application of fertilizer. We make use of a lot of drones and cameras driving down the orchard. It's digitalizing the variation within the orchard, the crop load, and it shows us the weaker areas.
That's literally where we're standing right now.
Yeah, so it will show you where it is and all the grey and the red dots of issues that's been picked up and resolved.
There really is an app for everything.
It looks like it.
We are standing next to what I consider brown gold. This is compost in all its glory. Now, I know it's made up of quite a few things. One of the things that's in there is alien species of plants. What are the benefits of including that in your compost?
We find that with alien plants also being added to our raw materials list is that it adds to the biodiversity in the compost. The more fungus and the more biodiversity you have, the more benefits you yield. The secondary benefit being the unlocking of additional water from the soil and the underground sources of water. For instance, blue gum trees you can yield thousands of liters of water just by cutting it down. So, in the long run, whether underground, whether above ground, there is absolutely benefits, yes.
Jaco, I have to ask this question though, and it might sound silly. How is compost made?
Basically, compost is made of raw materials, carbon and nitrogen based. We put it together in a recipe. Depending on the type of recipe, you get a certain ratio of carbons to nitrogens. Our nitrogen source is basically being manures from the immediate area as close as possible, and then also fruit. Our carbon sources are basically wood and chips, and then also sawdust. Then we mix it in, and we start the activation process through which we aerate it and we add water. And then the microbes, they really get working.
What are the benefits of creating your own compost on site versus bringing in an industrial fertilizer.
What it does is it allows us to control the whole process better. We are much more at ease and we know where to bring in certain manipulations if it needs to be done. And also with weather in mind and all the natural ingredients that goes into it, one does need to control as much as possible. And it's been brought together in a way that is sustainable and respects nature. The essence of the compost is the microbes that actually come with it. And in applying that to any type of soil, whether it be commercial, whether it be private or domestic, you're always adding life, and you're adding life in the long run. And that is the main difference and I think driving force behind the product.
And you can tell, you can smell, and you can see this soil is alive.
Yes.
For the consumer, what is the advantages of buying product that is farming for the future certified? It's not about future generations only, it's about us right now. So you would know in South Africa recently we've had awful weather conditions. If it's not flooding, then it's hail, then it's droughts, then it's all over the show. And with all of those things, each time a farmer just doesn't take money out of his back pocket and pay for a crop loss. It goes into the price of the product. So products get more expensive, inflation increases. Farming for the future, working together with nature, regeneratively, all is going to have an impact on the quality and the eating experience of food as we go along.
If we look at the resources that we are using at the moment, we need to think smarter and better about it, and we need to take custodianship of that as well. That will also make us more efficient in our current practices, but it will also allow the future of the business to continue and to grow as well. And in the process, we are also saving a lot. It makes us more profitable and more money at the end.
And you've proved that being sustainable is profitable, and here's to the next 130 years. Farming for the future is how we ensure that our beautiful planet keeps on producing healthy and nutritious foods while working with Mother Nature, ensuring that we're looking after our soil, maintaining biodiversity, cutting down on our carbon footprint, and saving water.
I love Clem. He got involved.
That was very romantic, I must say. Who would have thought that was his love language, his soil, man. Absolutely
Soil.
beautiful stuff. So the next time you shop at Woolies, look out for the green Farming for the Future logo on their packaging. You know what it means.
It is their commitment to the well-being of you, but not only that, also the well-being of your family, our communities, and of course, our beautiful planet. Shall we have a look at what's happening in the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm hungry and I'm smelling amazing things.
It's just rainbows out here, lots of colors and lots of good stuff. That's what's happening in the kitchen. We're going to make a delicious meal. We've got roux out here just to show us how easily this one can come together. And we're using one of my favorite ingredients. It's something that has become like my inspiration for many meals, for good nourishing meals and for protein. So like I just said, right now we're going to whip up a mouth-watering nacho platter. This one's topped with crumbed chicken strips, and that's both delicious and convenient. So Chef Roux, where do we begin with this one?
Oh, we're going to start with the chicken.
Yes.
That's the best part.
While you start with the chicken, I'm going to start telling Mzansi why we started with the chicken, because this is the real good stuff, right? We're talking about Farmer Brown's Nourish range, and this is the crumbed chicken, and it comes with a difference. Now, you can enjoy 100% breast fillet and 100% South African chicken, and that's already enough for me to celebrate, but it goes on because Farmer Brown's Nourish range is also endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, which is a well-known organization that promotes a healthy lifestyle. So ticking the box on health on your Health Tuesdays, bringing in the good stuff, and just run us through how we actually are going to prepare this. Is it quite intense? Is there a lot of effort needs to go into it?
No effort needed. This is so easy. Like you can literally just put it together, walk away, and it's done.
So we don't have to crumb it, we don't have to do anything?
Nothing. It's already done for you.
This is my kind of chicken.
And the perfect part is the sourdough crumb. So, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Nice. Okay.
So this is ready to go in the oven.
Voila. What temperature and how long does this go in?
180 for about 10 to 15 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And what are the next steps now? Where do we go from here?
Okay, so now we get started on our platter. I mean, who doesn't love nachos, right?
Who doesn't? Come through. I dare you to come through and tell me you don't love nachos. I don't think anyone's going to.
Honestly, I have not met anyone yet. But, I mean, this is the world. You get surprised.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with our base. Obviously, we're going to put some nachos in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to layer that.
Okay, that's pretty simple.
Very, very easy.
And I mean, you could probably get creative with the nacho flavor or the nacho that you use here. I know there's various options when it comes to the world of nacho chip, I guess. So
Yes.
I like how we have an option here already. So this is going to allow that sort of customization.
Yeah.
I see, though, that we are using a rainbow, and I got to talk about that because when there's color, that means we're talking about good nutrition, good value. A lot of this
100%.
stemming from nature as well. So I'm loving how we've combined nutritious ingredients, and I'm pretty sure it's going to taste even better.
It will taste even better because we've got different textures, we've got different colors. We're eating the rainbow, basically.
All right.
So I'm adding some black beans. I mean,
Yum.
what dish can you make? If you can't, you have to have black beans on your nachos.
And I've noticed this being incorporated into a lot of dishes that already have meat.
Yeah.
In the past, people would assume that this was your meat alternative, but combining the two is amazing because you're getting, like I said, some good protein, some good nutritional value from the beans as well.
Yes.
But I like the texture change that it brings through.
100%. It's a double dose of protein, and then you've also got like you said, the textural element.
Yeah. What's next?
Then what's next? What do you think? I think
So we can,
let's
like,
go for some corn.
There's no rule here, really, right?
No.
Okay,
no
I like
rules
that.
at all. I mean, it's up to you what you want to add. I mean, most people are very adventurous when it comes to this. So, I've had weird toppings on nachos before.
So pretty much if you stick to, let's say, the basics of the nacho chip,
Yes.
right? I definitely think the chicken is a must.
It is a must.
And then the rest of it you can get creative with, right?
Get creative, but I think, yeah.
And maybe some cheese. You always got to have some cheese
Yes,
with the nacho.
cheese is a must.
Yeah.
Because when you lift it up, it just has to melt and it has to stretch like that.
I agree with
So,
you. I think
yeah.
those are the official rules of nacho.
100%. So now I'm just adding some chopped tomatoes.
Nice.
We've got some red onion as well. I know most people are not fans of onion, but this is going in the oven, so it's.
Oh, okay.
it's
So that's
definitely-
going to take away a lot of that like potency from the onion itself, and then also like blend all these flavors together. That
But
makes
what
sense.
I love about onions is they're aromatic, man. So before you even get to taste it, you smell it, and it just makes your food taste so much better.
All right. Before you get to the finale, obviously I'll let you carry on doing the spread
Yeah.
together. Before you put the finale on, which I know it's going to be putting the chicken and everything back together, I want to talk to you, Mzansi, because it's getting really, really exciting in the kitchen. I can't help but not share this because you stand a chance to win a Farmer Brown hamper, and that's valued at 6,000 Rand. You see why I'm so excited to tell you about this. So all you got to do is simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, X, or Instagram page and tell us how you've noticed the impact food has on your mental well-being and overall wellness. A great question, and I'm dying to hear these answers. So don't forget to use the hashtag Farmer Brown's Way in the competition. And the competition closes on the 16th of June at midnight. Don't forget your T's and C's can be found at expressoshow.com. And just like that, Ru's already come through to the finale. It looks
how
like this one's
amazing
done.
that looks.
Beautiful. The colors there, the inspiration's there. We've got the cheese. I see later on we've got the dipping options of our cream cheese and
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
Sour
Ooh,
cream
nice.
and some guac.
Ru, you're amazing. Thank you so much. You're bringing color into our lives and good flavor. Hope you enjoy this, Mzansi. This is good.
Well, hopefully we will eat so good in just a moment. And then we're going to need a full tummy to tackle this discussion. We love getting into relationships on a Tuesday. And this morning we're going to have some fun broaching deal breakers and compromise. Which side of the fence do you sit on? Are you capable of compromise? What's your deal breaker? We'll find out.
That needs to be a first date question right there. Let me tell you, Graham. We're also going to get into a lovely bit of entertainment as Gareth James takes to the stage once again for another song. So a lot awaits for you on the other side of this.
Bake more memories with Royal Baking Powder, and you could win your own KitchenAid stand mixer. Be a part of the Tastemaster competition action by watching the show and baking a creative interpretation of the week's theme using Royal Baking Powder. Then upload it to socials by replying to the competition post, including hashtag the Tastemaster SA and hashtag Bake More Memories. Don't miss the Tastemaster SA every Tuesday evening at 7, repeat Wednesday at 1 and Sundays at 4 p.m. on SABC2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We just have one more hour in your company and we're going to make the absolute most of it. For now, though, it's just gone 8 o'clock. We've got to check in on what's happening in your world of news. Well, 2 elderly men have been remanded in police custody following their appearance in the Brits Magistrate Court in Northwest for the alleged murder of an 80-year-old man. 75-year-old Jeremiah Mutley and 92-year-old Daniel Madumo were arrested in Jericho Village outside Brits for the alleged murder of 80-year-old Godfrey Motsepe. The three allegedly had an early morning altercation when they had wanted to use a toilet in their old age home, and Motsepe was attacked with crutches. Now, he was certified dead on arrival at the hospital. And legal counsel for Jubilani Khumalo, the founder of the Mkhonto Wesizwe, or the MK Party, has argued that the letter sent to the Independent Electoral Commission for the change in party leadership was forged. Advocate Mfesane Kasiboto says there's sufficient evidence to conclude that a daughter of the former President Jacob Zuma forged the letter. Kasiboto says Duduzile Zuma Sambudla deliberately didn't copy Khumalo in the email correspondence to the commission. Kasiboto is representing Khumalo in the Electoral Court in an urgent application to reinstate him as the MK Party leader. Now, taking a look at international news making headlines, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi reappointed Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouly yesterday to form a new government after the latter submitted his cabinet's registration. Following Sisi's re-election for a third term last year, the presidency said in a statement, Sisi directed the new government to focus on lowering inflation and regulating markets, as well as attracting and increasing local and foreign investments. Targets for new cabinet members would also include preserving the country's national security in light of regional and international challenges, the statement said. And crowds of waving supporters sang and danced to mariachi music in Mexico City's main square, celebrating the ruling party candidate's victory after a female president had been elected in Mexico for the very first time. I wish to thank millions of Mexican women and men on this historic day who decided to vote for us, Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum said in her victory speech to the cheering crowds. The former Mexico City mayor, aged 61, vowed not to fail them. Now, Sheinbaum, a climate scientist by training, won close on 60% of the votes. Well, it seems like the tides are changing. Finally, we've got to look at some good news in South Africa. We've been voted the friendliest nation in the world. Now, this is according to a new study by Remoty, a leader in digital financial services. Remoty surveyed some 3,000 participants globally using the Big Five personality test focused on agreeableness. Participants answered questions to gauge their concern for others and willingness to help. Now, South Africa scored the highest with 34.63 out of 40. Remoty highlighted South Africa's affordable cost of living, diverse wildlife, warm climate, and also welcoming residents. Now, South Africans are known for their politeness, sociability, and good humor, making visitors feel at ease. The country's 11 official languages also facilitates communication and good friendships. Now, Greece came in second and first in Europe, Australia in Oceania, and Mexico in North America. We love ending on such a good note, but now, though, it's time to check in with sports with Graham.
Thank you so much for that inspirational story. I can tell you there is one group of people who don't feel that way about South Africans, and it's Sri Lanka. The Proteas commenced their T20 World Cup 2024 journey very successfully with a 6-wicket domination over Sri Lanka at New York's Nassau County International Cricket Stadium. So the Proteas chasing the target of just 78, and they hit it in the 17th over, courtesy of Quinton de Kock, top scoring with 20 of 27. Heinrich Klaasen, our master blaster, remaining unbeaten on 19. Then, of course, earlier, our boys did the job, bowling Sri Lanka out for just 77 runs. Anrich Nokia taking 4 for 7. Keshav Maharaj 2 for 22, and Kagiso Rabada 2 for 21. So next up for the Proteas, a bit of a hoodoo side. One of our World Cup foes, the Netherlands. And that's this Saturday, the 8th of June. Now let's get on to some major footballing news, and we've been waiting for this one to be official. Real Madrid have announced the signing of Kylian Mbappe on a free transfer. That was after the French captain left Paris Saint-Germain. The 25-year-old, PSG's record goal scorer with 256 goals in his 308 appearances, has now signed a 5-year contract at the Bernabeu worth some 15 million euros or 12.5 or 12.8 million pounds annually after tax. Not bad. The 2018 World Cup winner joins 2 days after Carlo Ancelotti's side secured their 15th Champions League title, completing a double with their La Liga championship as well. And Mbappe celebrated by posting some childhood photos of himself in a Real Madrid kit on social media. And I'm sure that kit is going to be pretty valuable now. Well, let's keep the European connection, and it seems that UEFA chiefs have decided they've named Vinicius Jr. as the Champions League player of the season. That was after he led Real Madrid to that European glory, while his teammate Jude Bellingham, who must have been a shoo-in for that award, received the Young Player Award this year. And the Brazilian forward, he scored 6 goals, provided 5 assists at crucial moments in Real's triumphant campaign, including that second goal in their 2-0 win over Borussia Dortmund in the final at Wembley on Saturday. This victory crowned Real Madrid undoubtedly as the European champions, obviously for a record extending 15th time, but I think cementing them as the kings of Europe. Now, speaking of kings and goats and such things, an injured Novak Djokovic sailed a 15th consecutive French Open quarter-final of his own with a thrilling comeback victory over Argentinian Francisco Cerundolo in the 4th round. So a visibly limping Djokovic seemed headed for a shock defeat, being 2-1 down in sets and 4-2 behind in the 4th. However, he showed that mental grit that he's got, and he bounced back 6-1, 5-7, 3-6, 7-5, 6-3 after a massive 4 hours and 39 minutes. And of course, delighting the Court Philippe Chatrier crowd in the process. So Djokovic narrowly avoiding his earliest exit from the tournament since 2009. But he thankfully now sets up a rematch of last year's final against Casper Ruud, who beat Taylor Fritz on his way into the semis. But it's all lighting up at Roland Garros, and that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take a look at the roads.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, let's see how we can assist you when it comes to traffic. And let's move over to GQ Berga in the Eastern Cape. Now, the road has been closed on the N2 South at Deal Party, which is causing heavy delays in and around the area. And this due to the storm. So if you are passing through, please do use an alternative route. We now move over to Cape Town in Bellville, and there is congestion on the R300, and that's northbound at Old Paarl Road. So again, as you can see from the visuals, please do allow for more travel time when passing through. We're going to be sticking to Cape Town right now. There is still heavy rain in parts of Cape Town, so please remember to switch on your headlights, maintain a safe traveling distance, and stay safe out there from the roads. We now head to the sky and see what's happening when it comes to weather. Reporting one last time from the world of weather, and the SA Weather Service has issued multiple severe warnings for today. Now we have an orange level 6 warning for disruptive rain causing flooding and danger to life, and that's expected along the coast of the Eastern Cape and adjacent interior. On top of this, a yellow level 4 warning for severe thunderstorms, hail and localized flooding, which is expected over the central Karoo, Garden Route, Cape Winelands, Overberg, and the eastern parts of the West Coast District in the evening. And a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms, strong winds and hail expected over the eastern Free State, Gauteng, northwestern KwaZulu-Natal and the Mpumalanga Highveld. Now, moreover, yellow and orange level warnings are also out for disruptive rain and snow in various parts of the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State, the Northern Cape and the coastal areas from Cape Point to Richards Bay. Well, we're definitely hoping that everybody can stay safe in this inclement weather. For now, though, it's our 8 a.m. sunrise view edition. And this now is a shot that I am just grateful for. Apiwe, thanks for sending this all the way from Strand. It's an incredible shot, very artsy. I love the chain in the foreground. I love the horizon in the background. I love everything involved in this shot, just as the sun's about to peak up and give us that promise of the day. Well played, Apiwe. And yeah, of course, we've got a winner, and we'll do it all again tomorrow morning. So reminder, the number is 0634088863. Why? Because we love sharing your sunrise view. It puts a massive dial on our smiley faces. And one last time, we're going to dive into the temperatures to see what you can expect on your side of town for the day.
And there's the two of us trying to understand percentages of rainfall. Basically, if there's a percentage, it's probably going to rain today. It's just that kind of vibe. But it does bring to bear the winter season, and winter is officially upon us. Warm meals are now essential for this time of the year. So we wanted to put it to you guys. What is your go-to cozy routine? So please bring that warmth to us. Invite us into your cozy little bubble. Share your voice notes with us on 063-408-8863. Or if you want to hit us up on the socials, you can use Expresso Show as the hashtag.
Oh, I see my name, so let me get into this. I see Shireen Abrams. Hello. Says, good morning, my Expresso family.
Yay.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the team, Carissa. Thank you. Love your energy. Definitely soup. Oh, I'm a soup lover. I made it twice already, and also beef stew, tomato bready. You can't go wrong. Chicken curry, all my family's favorite dishes. Have a super day. Thank you, Shireen.
Shireen, we share a blueprint, actually, because that's my vibe. And I've cooked a curry almost every second night because of the season.
But
I love
no
that.
invite, Graham.
Sorry, girl. There's never any left. Tequila saying, split peas with meaty bones, butternut soup with crusty bread. I stay alone, so I don't cook every day. You didn't have to put a little proviso in there. It's all right. Okay,
Anyone
we're not judging.
is looking for
We're not judging. I love
Tequila's
that.
looking for a +1 to keep him warm. Well, Teresa got in touch saying, good morning, my only favorite beautiful Expresso family.
Teresa.
My go-to winter cuisine is soup, stew, and one-pot warm meals. There's a theme here, I think.
Yeah, completely. I love the slow cook where you can just put everything in and you just let it do, and then the whole house fills with those smells. I love it. And Tuli's saying, now we are really in it cold-wise. I would say chicken soup with dumplings. Oh, get out. I haven't actually thought of that dumpling in the...
Dombolo.
Ooh, girl. Tomato soups, mutton tacos.
Interesting.
Pushing the boat out. You guys, we got some foodies on our hands here. Absolutely love that. Well, keep them coming. That just warmed me up, and I'm not even eating any of it. Here's a little piece of news that could warm you up. Well, for today and every other day of the year, okay, it's big today. If you play Powerball and Powerball Plus, there is an estimated 8 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. That's dumplings every day.
Every single day, Dombolo, Monday to Friday. That is right, Graham. All you have to do is play Powerball for an estimated 5 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million rand. But as always, if you want to win, you're going to have to play.
So how do you do it? Well, with a big smile on your face, you walk into a store and you buy it there. Or you can go online, nationallottery.co.za. You can use their mobile app, you can use your banking app, or you can just dial *120 *7529 hash on your phone for all the USSD.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy, but if you did not get that, we've posted all of these details on our Expresso social media pages. So go check it out. Panda Pusher Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 8 million rand in total estimated jackpots. That's wild. Today, you could be a winner.
Well, maybe having 8 million rand in your bank account is a deal breaker or possibly an opportunity to compromise with your better half. We're going to get into a relationship chat in just a moment and deal exactly with that. What are those deal breakers? How do you compromise? Oh, we're in the cold face. I love it.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a spicy one, so you're going to want to stick around. And of course, we have a beautiful performance once again from Gareth James. Cannot wait to get into it. We are being kept warm and spoiled this Tuesday morning. We'll see you in a bit.
There are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We absolutely love the fact that you have stuck around because we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're in the cauldron now. It's time for our relationship chat, and we love focusing on relationships. And we love putting these little dilemmas out there just to poke the bear somewhat. So please, my good friend, will you lay down the scenario for today's chat?
Well, that bear is being poked today, maybe even hitting a little bit close to home. But let's get into it, okay? It says, my fiance and I have been together for 10 years, and we've been engaged for just 1 year. And since we plan on getting married and starting our own family together, I would like us to buy our own property. That makes sense. With my finances, I can afford to buy that for us, but he wants us to live with his parents. And I'm not comfortable with that. So what do I do? Is this a deal breaker? Is it because I want to buy the property myself, perhaps? I just am so clueless. I do not know what to do.
I don't think any of us know what to do right now. So I think joining us to discuss this matter is the gent himself. No, it's, we've brought in the professionals. We're going to get some much needed advice from Daniela Mayer. She's a FAMAC accredited family therapist, divorce mediator and parenting coordinator. I don't know, we needed coordinators. That makes me so happy. I love it. Welcome to the show, Daniela.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
For being here.
So nice to be here.
Crazy scenario, and I think I got to dive straight into this. I think when it comes to communication, this is a big topic that's clearly needing to be navigated but better in couples, right?
Absolutely.
When it comes to communicating things like finances, how do you effectively do that? I know we've got the situation, we'll dive into that in a bit, but let's just set the ballpark.
You're just asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend.
I think that you should tell your friend that, no, seriously, that, I mean, this is one of what we call the tough conversations that we have when we are dealing with a future partner.
Yeah.
And the hope, and we don't see it enough, is that people feel comfortable enough to have these discussions. So I'll get into it a bit later, but what I would love to see is maybe having those conversations with a neutral party before the situations arise, so that when something comes up, you know exactly how you plan on dealing with them.
Someone who is trained to mediate such
Potentially
moments.
somebody who's trained to mediate,
exactly,
But I mean, we have different cultural aspects as well. So a lot of people like rely on family members, which is very fitting to this topic. So long as somebody is guiding a relationship, I suppose, if it's necessary, if you can't have the conversation by yourselves, then you're good to go, really.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about compromise versus deal breaking, right? In this situation particularly, I mean, I'm a woman too, also trying to get my financial independence. And I know once you've got that, it's hard to let that go. So where is this middle ground? How do I even approach the conversation without maybe even offending my man's feelings? What do I say?
So, I mean, the bottom line, I'm going to just dumb it down a little bit. Have you ever been in a situation with a friend where you're both starving? Let's say you're so hungry, you have played football or something, and then you sit down and you get this giant pizza. And the compromise here is, you know what, I'm a little bit taller than you. I'm going to eat all of it. You're going to eat none of it. But we're still going to be best friends. How does that sound as a compromise?
Nah.
Terrible.
No.
You're not doing it again, dude.
Not
Never
a great,
again. Never again, Raul.
Not a great
No deal.
idea. So what is the word compromise? And this is so fundamental to the whole discussion. Is you feel a bit of discomfort, I feel a bit of discomfort, and together we can come together and make a new norm. If one person is expected to make all the sacrifice, that's no longer compromise, that is now control. And you don't want to be in a situation of control going forward. So, yeah.
I absolutely love that, and because you make it quite clear and quite practical, and I think often we need to get over ourselves or get out of our own way before, because there is so much baggage in a space like this. Now, we are hitting major trigger points here. Parents. As soon as parents come into the mix, I mean, I would suggest just try living with the parents for 2 weeks and see if that will land, first of all, before you have that grand notion of staying with the parents. But we're talking about our hierarchy of needs here. We are talking about our childhood kind of structure, our own baggage and emotional kind of content. And now you've got to meet someone at a very advanced stage of life and somehow match your baggage and work that out. So how do we broach these things? Does it, as Raul pointed out, is it the communication you have building up to that point to understand the family relationship, how you are in that mix? Where does that side, how do we deal with our family baggage?
Sure.
So this is also quite a complex question. I'm going to try and keep it simple, is that we all grow up thinking that our lives and our foundations and our families are right.
Yeah.
We look at all the little holes and we kind of like, it's almost like a red flag in a relationship. We're like, oh, well, that doesn't seem right, but it's normal.
Yeah.
We then come into a relationship expecting the other person to come into our normal. But they themselves have their little holes in everything. So when it comes to building a relationship together with all this baggage, a couple really needs to be able to decide what was right and wrong within their own systems, come together and create a new system. And it is vital that they create a new system that works for the two of them, not for mother-in-law, not for father-in-law. Be respectful of the other families and their baggage. But definitely, you definitely don't have to go forward modeling that kind of behavior or upbringing.
Completely.
Hey.
You can free yourself from it. I feel like you've just coordinated me. Thank you. I feel coordinated. I love that.
I'd like to dive back into this scenario because I really think that there's a lot of people that resonate with this right now. Maybe the gender roles might be different, but I do feel that something needs to happen here. A decision needs to be made.
She just needs to go and buy that house, move out, and wait for him to come.
Yes, independent woman.
Exactly. How do you move forward from this? What decisions should be made and what should be put in place to navigate this sort of obstacle?
So this is kind of like where knowing yourself and what you need in your life plays a massive role. Because the one piece of good news I have for this writer is that there's no council that govern what you need to compromise on or not. It's such a personal thing.
You make the rules.
So you make your own rules. And if your partner doesn't want to agree to those rules, what is the relationship? The second piece of good news I have for her is that rather do it now than when you've got married and have a bunch of kids and then decide that you cannot actually come to a common ground. So my advice would be 100% keep your independence, but without like thwarting the other person. So do what you need to do. If the compromise, if it's not a compromise for you, if I am not prepared to live with my mother-in-law, it's a no-go, because that is then me saying, fine, you know what, you have all the pizza, and I'll just stay here and love you anyway. But later down the line, what is that going to do to the relationship and to me as a person?
Going to fester.
And to my children. And I'm
The
a divorce mediator. I see this all the time. When you're not communicating from the beginning about things like this, it's just a recipe for disaster.
And I suppose because the kids are modeling what they see, not what you're telling them. And you might think you're in control of all of this, but that bigger picture, you are definitely not. And I think we're always wanting our partner to give us the control, give us the security, give us the happiness. None of those things are your partner's responsibility, okay?
Absolutely,
You've got to take that on board. So let us know what your thoughts are on this situation. Maybe you're living it right now. Head over to our social media pages. At Expresso Show is the handle to use. Let us know how you would deal with this. How are you dealing with it right now? Send us a WhatsApp voice note with an anonymous. I love those. 063-408-8863. Let's keep it spicy. No, this is a safe place. We'd love to hear from you.
Catch Top Travel on Saturdays 8:30 p.m. on S3 and breathe for it with Halls to stand a chance to win a trip to Amsterdam with 2 return economy tickets on KLM Royal Dutch Airlines plus 20,000 Rand spending money. Head over to Top Travel TV social pages, comment on one of the competition posts, and you could be the lucky winner of this adventure of a lifetime. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, a very big good morning if you've just tuned in. It is Tuesday morning, and you know what that means. It's time to focus on our relationships. And today's dilemma, my goodness, we've got into it, but let's just do a bit of a rehash, right?
Okay.
My fiance and I have been together for 10 years, and we're 1 year engaged. And since we plan on getting married and starting our own family together, I would just like us to buy our own property. It's not a lot to ask for. And with my finances, I can afford to buy that for us. But he wants to live with his parents, and I'm not comfortable with that. So it leaves us with the question, what do I do? Is this a deal breaker, yes or no? And we, of course, have to get to a conclusion here, but not without your help. We've, of course, asked you to also jump on those voice notes, those messages across our socials, and we've got a professional in our midst who's going to help us navigate this conversation. Daniela May is still with us. She is a FAMA CA accredited family therapist, as well as a divorce mediator and parenting coordinator. And it feels like you've come at the right time because, wow, where do we go from here?
I hope you're going to pay for the private consult that you've been getting on that
Hey,
side
bro,
of the studio,
that
buddy.
was off record.
Nothing on this show is off record. It seems that people have been weighing in, and I would imagine this, as much as this is quite specific, this echoes a lot of these kind of big gateway compromises that we might hit. So let's take a look at the first of our comments.
Yes, Samantha comes through. Samantha Urice Farmer says, my advice would be to talk to him about it and make it known that you are uncomfortable with the idea, and also to try and understand his point of view as to why he prefers to stay with his parents. Communication is key, and only the two of you can find a suitable solution. I feel like someone's been listening to you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say thank you, Samantha. 100%. That's exactly right. Exactly. Exactly right.
Massive box tick there. Well done.
Nice,
Makoro saying, you must have your own space. He can build and stay with his parents and visit you whenever there is a need.
Yes, Makoro.
Kaween.
He comes through every
That's why I was
Tuesday.
rubbing my fingers like Gargamel earlier, because I knew one of these things would come in.
I also think to myself, bro, if you find a woman that's willing to buy a house, bro, keep her, put a ring on that for sure, man. That's a win.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm still trying to understand the scenario. This comment, I think, takes the cake for me. Take a look at this. Never move in with the in-laws.
Are those like the rules of life? Rule number one.
Yeah.
Philip, that's where I'm sorry for whatever you went through, clearly, to have that opinion. This says to me, Daniela, that there is a roadmap, because we're dealing with kind of archetypal things. Your relationship with your parent, your relationship with money. These are things that you yourself are probably grappling with as you go through these gateways in your relationship, which means holding up a mirror more than looking for an answer from your partner, which has got to be like the most difficult thing we can do. So when you start understanding yourself, how does that conversation look? What do you need to do to maybe, because your partner's out of your control. You yourself, you can control the way you see the world and yourself. So how does that kind of self-work look in this case?
So I have an exercise that I do with a lot of my clients. I just want to throw in quickly that we are looking at a divorce rate of between 50 and 60% currently.
Holy moly.
This is telling us that half of the marriages that we see have or are failing. So this is not just a game of self-reflection. This is vital to moving forward in this kind
This
of
is society.
institution. This is a society thing. The exercise I do is I find that when you are looking inward and looking at yourself, you're completely out of control. When you are emotionally involved in a situation, you don't see it for what it's worth. So I say, put yourself in the shoes of a friend.
Okay.
And ask yourself the question as though your friend has asked the question. And see what advice you would give your friend, especially a friend that you really like.
Yeah, someone that you care about, Sal. Someone that you
Because
really...
if I come and I say, oh no, I'm unhappy because of this, I don't know what to do. If my sister or my friend came to say to me, I'm unhappy because X, Y, and Z, I would be like, are you joking?
Girl, don't even
Come on,
joke.
buy the house. Are you mad? Why are you going to go and move in there? You will always be an outsider. Come on. Why can't I see that for myself? So that's very valuable in kind of self-reflection, but from an outside point of view.
That's
Just
quite a
short
cool,
circuit that.
That's
Yeah,
an
I love that.
unbiased way to get your own raw emotion. You're like tricking yourself into giving yourself the truth. I really like
But
that
you have to be
strategy.
honest with yourself, though. That's the
I
only
think
way it
that
works.
is the difference.
And your
right?
best mates will be honest.
Yeah.
Whether you want it or not, they will tell you like it
The
is.
other problem is people don't like the answers. I mean, there's so many people that also like psychologist hop until they find somebody that agrees with them, you know. So find someone you trust. Like for me, it's my dad. I trust my dad completely. It doesn't matter what I ask him. I accept that the answer is going to be in my best interest. Find yourself a person like that and then decide actively that you're going to listen to their advice and use it in the way that works for you.
Daniela, I had a question around when do you know that it is time to call you up, you know? We can have a conversation between ourselves. I can do the self-reflection. I can be my own best friend. But how do I know, okay, now is a moment that I need to call professional help?
I think that when you have tried and tested everything else and nothing else is giving you any sort of peace in an answer, obviously if there's any sort of conflict, I mean, that's where my practice is mainly in conflict resolution. So if you feel like you're not getting anywhere or it's a dead end and you've tried communicating with your partner, toxic, crazy, out of control. But what I would love to see is as part of like a prenup agreement or the law that all married couples or all relationships are mandated to go to therapy at least maybe once every 6 months, you know?
Or you lose your whatever on your medical
driver's
aid or your
license.
yeah,
There must be consequences,
on
your medical aid.
Hey, listen,
Exactly.
driving in anger is probably the most dangerous.
But exactly, because imagine a life where we're staying on top of the little conflicts and we're dealing with the little ones as they come up instead of like this complete mushroom effect of everything.
Is there a point in a relationship where we can preempt all of this, when these gateways are approaching, because they are quite clear? That's the joy of all of us living the human condition, is we know that we're all kind of similar in that sense. Is it not worth, and I don't want you to put so much pressure on your new partner after dating for 2 weeks, let's go and see a marriage counselor, etc. Is there an opportunity to sit with someone to broach these things before they've even started to fester or become toxic?
So how about you meet somebody and you really like them and you go on a few dates and you decide this is going to become more, and you say to that person, it is very important to me that you do this with me. How do you feel about it? I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but I'm saying that when we get to those tough points, I would love if we had a solution and a roadmap on how we're going to deal with it.
To mitigate the
So,
fallout.
you know what? Let's go and just have the chat while we're all happy and in love, so that if something happens that kind of like tilts us a little bit, that we already know how we're going to deal with it, you know? So I think that's very important to be able to preempt these things, because I'm sorry to tell everybody is that no relationship is perfect forever, and every single relationship ends. Whether it's through death or through divorce, every relationship ends. So what are we left with? Ourselves. And who has to be happy in it all? Ourselves. And we cannot make anybody else happy unless we are happy. And that is so cliched, but it is so true.
Well, that's the reason why it's cliched. Girl, go buy your house. Move
Go buy
into
your house.
You better.
And let's just see what happens. He can bring tomato bread he cooked by his mom to you from the home kitchen. Daniela, you are really good at what you do. Thank you so much for playing along with us. I know a lot to cover in a short amount of time, but if you are going through the most right now, we've got your back, and hopefully you found a couple of gems in there.
Yeah, not only do we have your back, we're going to get entertained right now. To lift your spirits just a little bit. Of course, we have Gareth James standing by to entertain us just a little bit more. So grab something that looks like a mic and sing along.
This is Better People.
Well, we're right there every Sunday with a Bible in our hands. We sing along to every song, bow our head and say amen. We give 10% to Jesus, and on a good month a little more to that panhandler down on Church Street. We just nod and lock the door. The world don't need another soapbox preacher talking about streets of gold. Just someone they can lean on and a steady hand to hold. We don't need big churches or with higher steeples. We need deeper thinking I got it all figured out. There's still a lot that I don't know. I'm gonna ask St. Pete about a million things if he lets me through that door. We'll sing Amazing Grace with smiling faces. The last one should be first. Well, if you ask me, brother, what we need, more heaven here on earth. The world don't need another soapbox preacher talking about streets of gold. Just someone they can lean on and a steady hand to hold. We don't need big churches or with higher steeples. We need deeper love, softer hearts, better people, yeah, yeah. We need better people. The world don't need another soapbox preacher talking about streets of gold. Just someone they can lean on and a steady hand to hold. We don't need bigger churches or with higher steeples. We need deeper love, softer hearts, better people. We need deeper love, softer hearts, and better people. Oh yeah, we need better people.
Oh man, he's imploring we need better people. I love that. So two things I'm thinking of, like how many glasses of whiskey and cigars I'd need to smoke to be able to sound anything like that. That is just the most beautiful voice ever. But I can picture someone in that relationship dilemma now, just hearing that, looking at themselves in the mirror and just saying, okay, let's get real. So hopefully we've helped you, and hopefully Gareth has helped you in the most emotional way possible, because that's his vibe. We love this guy and he's going to stick around. One more performance.
He is, and I can't wait for that performance. But before we get into that, like I said earlier this week, I really want to go to Turkey, okay? Turkey. And I can't wait to get into 3 bucket list things that you have to do if you travel on over there. Very excited to get into and show you guys what we've got for our Travel Tuesday. So don't go anywhere.
Get ready to break the rules and redefine design with the freshest new interior makeover show in South Africa, My Design Rules. We're looking for 4 up-and-coming design duos, and whether it's friends, family, or siblings, as long as you have an eye for beautiful spaces, we want you. Picture this: 4 talented teams, 4 fixer-uppers, located right in the heart of Cape Town's Atlantic seaboard. If you're ready to revamp one of these apartments, then you can win big. The judge's choice will walk away with a shared 300,000 Rand, or your duo could nab a shared 100,000 Rand for impressing the viewers. Enter on WhatsApp on 073 595 6420 or on Cordova.tv, or hit up our My Design Rules TV socials for details. That's My Design Rules, where every moment is a masterpiece.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We've had a little bit of everything today, so why don't we throw some travel into your
Yes,
Tuesday?
please.
And today we are highlighting more of the hidden gems of Turkey, from picturesque landscapes, I think unmatched landscapes, to be honest, to mesmerizing historical sites. Turkey has it all.
Absolutely. And apart from the hot air ballooning that we know and love out in Cappadocia and the relaxation and rejuvenation in Pamukkale, Turkey has a vast range of natural beauty for you to explore. And we're going to break it down and give you 3 of Turkey's most mesmerizing locations to add to your bucket list today.
And I can't wait for this one because this is just getting my Speedo excited. Dudden Waterfalls in Antalya from Mount Taurus. Now, this is where water streams down to form Dudden Waterfalls that drop into the sea at the foot of Antalya. Now, come on, just picture that. That's an Instagram
What,
moment
you
right
and your
there.
Speedo? Or?
Oh, that looks so good. Oh, wow, into the ocean. Come on. I believe there's only 3 waterfalls that actually fall in the ocean in the world, apparently. South Africa also has one, but that one might just take the cake.
It might just be out. I love that.
Yes, for sure.
You probably do it without the Speedo, man. I think you'd be so inspired.
Challenge accepted.
If given the opportunity.
So from weird ocean settings that are so rare to something subterranean, Lycian rock tombs in Dalyan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but probably butchering it. But look at that setting. This is one of the most exceptional places in Turkey. You can understand why looking at that. In the 4th century, Lycians believed that the deceased were taken to the afterlife by angels, and in order to give the angels priority to help the deceased, the Lycians built these monumental tombs at the tops of hills, and now they are littered all over.
It looks like they carved those things out of the mountain. Literally.
Like as you're taking the steps up and walking through, that's your surrounding.
I'm just hearing Indiana Jones's whip.
Oh,
Like, it's happening, man. It's happening. Beautiful.
You've got to wear the attire as well
For
as
sure.
you're missioning through. I love that. There's also, in our top 3, the Butterfly Valley. Now, this valley is only accessible by boat or via a very difficult hiking path down the Farulia village. And the valley gets its name from the roughly 100 species of butterflies. I'm just smiling because I'm imagining found in the area. It was declared a preservation area back in 1987 to, of course, protect the butterflies and the local flora. Look at that.
That's incredible.
Isn't that beautiful?
And I love the fact that you can earn this adventure through a crazy hike, or you need a boat.
Stand up paddle, baby. Stand up paddle. I love that.
Awesome.
It seems so synchronistic with South Africa. Like when you look at it, it feels like you're looking at SA. There is just something I think that South Africans will absolutely love about this area. And these were some hidden gems. Absolutely love them, and you can tick them off your bucket list, but you got to get there. So book your trip to Turkey on TurkishAirlines.com right now. In fact, they go to more destinations across the globe than anyone else.
Yeah. I don't know if I had to choose a top 3 in that list.
You're in the water. Come on,
it
let's
depends,
be real.
It's got to be the Speedo jump waterfall, bro.
I love ancient history. I love it when you can stand somewhere that 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years ago, someone stood there and thought something, felt something, did something. I love that. So for me, it's the tombs.
And you might just be haunted when you go too, which is always like a nice little thing to bring home.
Why you got to do that, man? If she comes back from Turkey with this little clay pot that's got a face in it, I'm like, don't even. Yeah.
Oh, look.
I hope you get swarmed by butterflies when you go there, man.
I welcome that personally. I love that. Butterflies are such a good omen. So I think hundreds
Positive
of species of them. Bring it on. I absolutely love to see it.
Speaking of good omens, there's an omen in the studio right now that I feel is just giving us all the good feels. This man is taking it to an international level. He's definitely, and I'm going to manifest this right now, going to win something in Texas, a big award going out there. So Mzansi, stand by, because when we come back, we're going to be listening to the one and only Gareth in the building, and it's ahead of his new music and his tour to the US of A. And we've got an opportunity for you to win big. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
We connect more countries than any other airline. Turkish Airlines.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, bottom line, you could become a multi-millionaire. Welcome back. Let's give you the good news. Powerball Plus, now sitting at 8 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Tuesday. Come on.
Goodness, that's right,
Come on.
Graham. Well, you can play Powerball for an estimated 5 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million rand. Imagine. But as always, you know the rules by now. If you want to win, you gotta play.
So how do we do that? Well, we got you covered, right? You can buy your tickets today in store on the nationallottery.co.za website, or you can use the mobile app. And then on top of this, you can also buy tickets through the cell phone banking option, as well as by simply dialing *120 *7529# and then follow the USSDs. Simple as that.
And you'll find all the most awesome content on our social media platforms, including those details. So you've got no excuses to go and check them out and then decide on your lucky numbers and panda, push or play. Because Powerball Plus are sitting at 8 million rand today, and it could be yours. Good luck.
Imagine.
Could be mine. In fact.
We should stay close then. Well, we've got to, of course, get into our entertainment for today. I mean, he's been here for a while. He feels like he could be part of the family already. Taken to the stage right now to perform an exclusive track. It's called Snap Your Fingers. That'll be dropping later this year in September, I've been told. It is, of course, Gareth James.
Yeah, look out, 6th of September.
With just one snap, girl, you had me at your beck and call. Got me standing on the edge of love ledge, you got me fixing to fall. Oh, you just spin a little, let me kill me, but your nectar's so sweet. You got me where you want me, where you got me's right where I wanna be. So just snap your fingers, tick-tock. I'll be your Johnny on the spot, I won't linger. I'll give it all I got, just once if you want me, twice if you're bored, and 3 times, and if you like it, go on. Snap some more, just snap your fingers. To call me on the phone, ain't got to call me by name. Just sit back, smile and laugh, throw a snap, and I'm on my way. You got me wrapped around your fingers, girl, you know that it's true. Wouldn't do it for just anyone, but honey, I would do it for you, yeah. All you got to do is just snap your fingers, tick-tock. I'll be your Johnny on the spot, I won't linger. I'll give it all I got, just once if you want me, twice if you're bored, and 3 times, and if you like it, go on and snap some more. Just snap your fingers. Come on, let's have some fun. I'll be listening for that friction between your fingers and your thumb. So snap your fingers, tick-tock. I'll be your Johnny on the spot, I won't linger. I'll give it all I got, just once if you want me, twice if you're bored, and 3 times, and if you like it, go on and make it 4. Just snap your fingers, tick-tock. I'll be your Johnny on the spot, I won't linger. I'll give it all I got, just once if you want me, twice if you're bored, and 3 times, and if you like it, go on and snap some more. Just snap your fingers.
What an absolute privilege, dude. I know we gush over you whenever you come here, but you are just ridiculously talented. Such a lovely guy. All the best for the US, my brother.
Wow.
Go and conquer, dude. You've earned that right.
Fly South
Absolutely
African
awesome.
flag so high. I know
Yeah.
you already will. Teach them some phrases. Say "awe" as soon as you land. Touchdown. We want to see this happen, Gareth.
Okay, so get busy, yeah? We've got a beautiful
The lady in
plate
the
of-
kitchen has to get busy.
No, I was talking to Raul after he ate my whole pizza. We are, speaking of food, going to have a little bit of fun. Of course, tomorrow is Wednesday, which means culinary hotline bling, ting, ting, ting. Okay, we warmed up. It's burger day. I forgot what the other burger is, and it sounds amazing because I can't stop thinking about a double peri-peri cheese master.
Is that a
when you
burger?
when you call a burger the master, it's got to be really special. But if you've got any great burger ideas, questions, of course, we'll have the superstar panel in studio to help us tomorrow. So please drop them on the socials.
Drop them on the socials,
Yeah.
indeed. And while this delicious meal that Rue lovely brought to us gets
Oh, she
dished
was
up.
great.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
incredible. I'm going to talk to you,
fantastic.
Mzansi, about some of the latest trends coming through. We're diving into Decorex, and some trends for the season are going to be analyzed. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, then you definitely want to pay attention to this conversation. It's going to give you everything you need to get your house into the not spring, but winter of things.
In fact, for the whole rest of the year. Really excited about that. We also have some entertainment news. You'll know that's my favorite. And we've got David Fourie, the performer, that's going to come on through and chat to us a little bit about what is happening on the scene.
Because there is a lot going on, a lot of South Africans doing amazing things in the world right now. So we are here to applaud that. All the best to the Proteas as they continue their World Cup. Lest we forget another World Cup is happening. But I think just to recap, if you're going through something hectic within your relationship today, take a step back. And I think the best piece of advice we've been given, just pretend to be your best mate giving you that advice or giving it to your best mate as if he was you. Just take a step back from all of the drama, the emotional intensity, and handle it practically. And if you need help, then invite someone in to help to mediate, because often the emotions are just too much, man.
There's no shame in asking for help.
100%.
Well, let's help ourselves to some of this. And Gareth James is standing by to give us a little something.
Bring
Say
it,
good
love you,
morning
guy.
to you.
Yeah.
What am I to you? Each time you call, what am I to say? I can't run away. Letting go of you is easy to say. The hardest part for me is walking away. It kills me inside to see you with somebody else.
Another feel-good production.